game event that will take place April 22nd, and you don't want to miss it. Just make sure when you do, you have an AUG and an FFAR, because if you don't have those, you ain't got nothing.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the OnSide Radio E-Report.
Now streaming online.
OnSide Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Time to get in the zone. The OnSide Zone.
And look, man, I don't care if you're my wife. If I don't agree with you, I'm going to say it. You know what I mean?
The OnSide Zone.
He's a liar. And there's nothing new about that. He's full of crap. If you're believing that, I got a bridge in the Keys. It's the one on the right side. Just want you to know, when you're going south, you'll see the smaller bridge on the right. I've got that one for sale if you're interested.
You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
That's the one boy band that I will say, dude, I'll stand up for Boys to Men every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Love those guys.
You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. You can connect with us at OnSideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. The OnSide Zone with a big O.
All right.
I need to know I'm not alone. Now take it home as the night begins to fade away.
Loving it. It's a beautiful Tuesday, boys and girls. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're feeling good. I'm feeling good. It's a big night tonight. The Cats got a big game against the Hurricanes tonight. You know, I think we've got to do, and I understand that hockey's not the biggest thing yet in town. Not that it'll ever be the biggest, because football will always be the biggest and the Heat will always be the monsters, but it's going to sit up there with those sports soon enough, and it's going to capture people's imagination. And tonight's a great night to sit by the tube, watch the Panthers and the Hurricanes at the PNC Arena in Carolina. So we'll see if the boys and the Hurricanes have been a royal pain in the ass for the Panthers this year, and the Panthers have pretty much passed every test this season, and I just love the toughness that I've seen from this team. So we are prepared tonight for it. I can't wait. Yeah, of course I'm looking forward to the Heat and the Grizzlies, but come on, dude. I mean, that's not really supposed to be that much of a game. You know what I'm saying? So of course I'll be looking at the Heat. Love the Heat. Hopefully they'll pick up the victory, but the big game tonight is Panthers Hurricanes at the PNC Arena. This is an enormous game tonight, and it's one of those where you've got to get a little revenge and send back the message to them like, no, this isn't going to be the way it is. And you got to kind of send a message that, hey, listen, if we do run into the playoffs, this is what's going to happen. You know, that kind of stuff. It's a matter of, Sean, I always saw Trocheck take a beating in a Panthers uniform. Well, it's time to dish out a beating. You know what I'm saying?
It is. You got to put, like I told Toast this morning, put everybody on Trocheck. Do not let Trocheck beat you again.
That's it. Right. Because he's scoring in every game. Sometimes, I think he scored twice in one of them.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, enough already. So you've got to get rid of the Gnat today, and the Gnat is not in Washington. It's in Carolina, and its name is Vinny Trocheck. So let's go. Let's eliminate the Gnat. And, Sean, today I have pulled out all the stops. We got the lucky shoes on today. You okay? You see there?
I saw him on Twitter.
Go Panthers. Now folks can watch it on YouTube right there. Go Panthers. You got that? That's what we're doing tonight. So we got all the stops pulled out. And so, if we win tonight, that's the secret weapon. Okay? And so when the playoffs roll around, those will be the shoes that we got to wear. So tonight when they win, I want you to know that it had nothing to do with Huberto. It had nothing to do with Bob or Dreger.
Nothing.
No, Coach Q.
Nothing.
None of them. It doesn't have to do with anything but the shoes. Okay?
It's all about the shoes.
It's all about the shoes. Okay? That's it. I mean, I figured I gave Alex Dotto some masks that have been good luck for him. Right? So the guy wears all those masks and Inter's always winning. Which, by the way, I still haven't been able to find one like this for Inter Miami. These, like this style, I can't find it. Because this is the most comfortable to broadcast from. These are the best to broadcast from. The ones with the ears sucks. Because they're usually too thick, and also it puts pressure on your ears, and you got to put your headphones over. It's just a pain in the ass. This one is the best. This is what I've been using for over a year now. They're my favorite. And I've been dying to find one of Inter Miami, and I cannot find any, man. I would have bought like 10 different ones already by now. But we'll see. So there you go. What do we got? Dennis Akers is in the house. John Rouse. He says, Big O, and this is Dennis. How's Bill? Bill's doing good, man. He's got another gig. Let's see. Ian from Brooklyn. For the record, sometimes I don't think clearly with tatas dangling in my face. Exactly. I would have to agree with that one, Ian. You know, the Paul Pierce, that could make you think a little sideways. Paul Pierce got fired for visiting the Boom Boom Room. Yep, exactly. Kenneth Cleveland got Paul Pierce fired. I mean, that's pretty simple. That's what it is. So now we know that my shoes are going to be the secret weapon for the Panthers. And we now know that Kenneth Cleveland and his Boom Boom Room can get people in trouble. Okay? So now we know that when the playoffs roll around for the Heat, we got to get the opposing team to show up at the Boom Boom Room. That's all. And then videotape it. Okay? Let's see. Troy Ortiz is in. Gus1388. Love you all. Thank you all for checking in and chiming in on the program. So we got a lot of things to talk about. The Marlins, unfortunately, lose to the Cards yesterday. They dropped to 1-3. Trevor Rogers with a short night tonight. I will say this: at 6:40, Sandy Alcantara is playing, or pitching, that is, and that is worth the watch right there. That, I'm looking forward to that. I hope he can, put out a nice outing, and hopefully the boys can get some run support. And let's see if I know I heard the manager after that he likes where they're at and all of that, and Mattingly, stays positive. This is going to be a hell of a challenge, ladies and gentlemen. We're back to a regular season, and they were able to catch lightning in a bottle last year, and it was a very shortened season. It's like a third of the length that it normally is, pretty much. And so that really created a very tight window that if you just got tripped up a little bit, you were out. And if you had a little bit of a hot start, you were all in. And that's kind of the way it went. Now, baseball in a regular season is not like that, okay? I watched the Boston Red Sox one year where they started the first month of the season, and I crap you not, they must have gone 3-20 or something. It was terrible. It was they were the worst team in the majors. And then in the second month of the season, they turned it on and had the best record in the majors all the way through August. Then in September, they went back into the tank again and lost most of their games and were out of the playoffs. I mean, that's how long the baseball season is. It was 3 different seasons for the Red Sox that year. I forgot how many years back it was, but I always use that example because it's a great example. It shows you how long and how things can change. So they could change for the better for the Marlins. The young guys have to figure out major league pitching, and they've got to find a way to score runs. Because if you really look at it, I think you're going to have the kind of starting pitching, and especially when you get the youngster back finally, because it doesn't look like it's serious shoulder issues. So hopefully Sixto will be back soon, and you'll add that fireballer. And all of a sudden now, I think you're going to have the kind of guys that you need to keep you in games. It's really all about the bats, figuring it all out. We got the Heat and the Grizz tonight. Another game for Oladipo to try to find his groove too, right? That's been kind of he's kind of like we need Oladipo to become Stella. Stella ended up finding her groove. She ended up meeting a younger man, and obviously she found her groove. Well, now Oladipo's got to find his swing. Okay, not swinging for Paul Pierce type parties, swinging for the fences, like in hitting some buckets. And I know he talked about his shot, and people are talking about it because obviously his shot looks like a shot put, and it just looks terrible right now, and it's not going in. So but again, this is where it's going to become a challenge for Miami. And they've got to see enough to then bring him back next year. And I think with an entire offseason, conditioning, all those kind of things, I think they can make Oladipo a better player. But I don't know if they're going to want to do that or not. And so it'll be interesting. It'll be up to him now, along with the people in the Heat organization, to kind of figure things out. Because if you can get an efficient Oladipo, then I think you can make a deep run in the playoffs. If you don't have an efficient Oladipo, I don't believe the Heat go past the second round. Put it that way. I just don't. There's no way they get to the Eastern Conference if they don't have Oladipo really giving them the offensive support that they need. Because he's a guy that is so instrumental in playing off the ball. Because he has the skill set to do that. He's comfortable doing those kind of things. So you have the guys to set him up. So it's really up to him to get consistent with that mid-range shot. I don't know if he's ever really going to be a great three-point shooter. Okay? But he's got to get more consistent with that mid-range jumper, and he's got to get super comfortable with driving to the hoop and doing a lot of damage that way. Dwayne Wade style. Fall down 7 times, get up 8. That kind of crap. That's kind of his game more than anything else. So we'll see. It'll be fun. Let's see. What else do we have here? Brett Spence says, how many in the stands have never done anything wrong in their life? We paid the price for it. How many people have not cheated on a test or whatever at some point in time? Did you see what Dusty Baker said? Yeah, I saw the Dusty Baker comment. In fact, here we go. I can pull it up for you guys. Dusty Baker, what can I tell you, dude? Let's see. You could tell the amount of hostility and the amount of hatred in the stands. I think that sometimes we need to look at ourselves before you spew hate on somebody else. It's a sad situation for America to me when you hear things. What are the kids supposed to think in the stands? And some of them are kids that are following their parents. It's sad to me. People make mistakes. We paid for ours, and I wish they'd leave it alone. Actually, problem with Dusty Baker is that he, listen, he's got to do what he's got to do and defend, his players, because that's his job. But what Houston did, they have not paid the price for it yet. They got lucky that last year nobody had contact with them. This is what's going to happen. Don't cheat then. You know what I mean? Don't do such a disgusting act in the sport itself that you insult everybody else that's playing in the league. Okay, and I get it. Lots of others cheat and they try to get an edge. But what Houston did was way beyond cheating, dude. Way beyond cheating. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Dusty needs to probably shut the hell up. But I get it, why he's going to obviously defend his guys and his team. He works for them. And he manages these guys. So if you're gonna win that locker room over, you got to kind of take the bullet. That's just the way it is. Kenneth Cleveland is live from the Boom Boom Room. He says, I took care of Paul Pierce. Anyone we have a problem with, send them to me in the VIP, and the lovely ladies will take care of thee. There you go. Let's see. Brett Spence says, compared cheating and stealing a World Series to cheating on a test. I mean, again, you got to understand his position. You know, he has no choice. He has to defend and has to defend it, and he has to lie on that sword, dude. He has no choice. He can't sit there and go, yeah, my guys are a bunch of stinking cheaters, and, you know, they got away with it, and they may have stolen a World Series, and they insulted everybody that they played, you know, but, hey, come on. Let bygones be bygones. He's not going to do that. You know, he's gonna defend them because that's what he has to do. He has no choice. You know, it's like the mother that has a son that killed 8 people. Oh, but he's such a nice boy, and this and that, and the mother will be the last one to ever admit that the kid's just, you know, the devil. You know, ma'am, you gave birth to Beelzebub. I mean, what do you want us to do? You know, he's the devil. Look at the 666 on his head, and you know she's still like in denial. And meanwhile, in the background, the Omen music is going on. So, you know, that's just the way it is. How many did I lose right now with the Omen music? Wow. I know I lost like a bunch of young people who are like, Omen, what the hell are you talking about? I haven't seen that movie in a long, long time. I wonder how much does it hold up, the original Omen? Because that was a scary-ass movie back in the day. That kid did a great job playing that role. Ray says, hello, Orlando and everybody. Najee Harris might be gone by 18. I like North Carolina running back in the second round. In closing, bye-bye, Paul Pierce. Oh, that is awesome. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We got Kurt Heelan joining us in hour number 3. If you want to get in, 888-441-4623. The text line is always open for you guys. If you want to send it in at 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Let me tell you a little bit about the great people at M&S Air Conditioning, man. Go call Mike and Greg right now. Listen, pick up the phone, or better yet, save it on your cell phone right now, because maybe you're busy and you won't remember later. And then you're going, what was that number that O told me about? Because my AC is about to break down. We got to clean the air vents. We haven't cleaned those things in years. How about this? You know, how about killing all the biological contaminants that are in the air? You don't know who comes in, who goes out sometimes. You don't know where they've been. Maybe they leave things in the air that could cause a cold, not just COVID. So what you need now, and I'm telling you, we did it here. We installed a high-efficiency polarized air filter, and it destroys all the biological contaminants, and it improves the air quality, folks. You can feel it pretty much that the air is cleaner, man. Visit M&S Air Conditioning. I'm telling you, call them. You can visit them on the website, ac-florida.com. Call them 954-421-3680, and make sure you tell Mike and Greg and all the great people out there that Big O and the folks at OnSide Radio sent you, and I promise you they're going to take care of you. But listen, install a polarized air filter at work or at home. That way you can take care of your employees, you can take care of your family, and you have a cleaner environment, and guess what? Less people will be getting sick. 954-421-3680.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
I'm Ryan Seacrest. First responders are people who stand for a greater purpose. They will be there for you when nobody else is, to help you, your family, your community. This is their selfless promise. This is their sworn duty to protect, to serve, to help. They put themselves in harm's way for us. They come to the rescue at times when we need them most. First responders are making enormous personal sacrifices to keep showing up for us and fighting the good fight. Nearly 70% of all firefighters are volunteers. That means when they get injured or quarantined, they may not have a way to pay their rent or keep their family safe and fed. No matter who you are or where you live, when you call 911 and ask for help, first responders show up. Now, let's show up for the people who show up for us every day and every night.
Go to firstrcf.org and make a difference today. At Baptist Health, we are ready
to serve, to treat,
to safely proceed with your procedure.
We're ready for ER visits and office visits
with skilled surgeons,
advanced medicine,
and multidisciplinary teams.
We're ready for new arrivals
and new recoveries.
We are ready.
We're ready to diagnose, treat, and manage
anything that comes our way
with exceptional care and comfort.
With the same preparedness and compassion you've come to expect from Baptist Health.
And we are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready
to care for you.
Take OnSide Radio everywhere you go with the MyTuner Radio app. Download the free app and listen to your favorite OnSideRadio.com host. Go to your app store, download MyTuner Radio, and search OnSide Radio, South Florida's sports station. You can connect with us at OnSideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. Save it on your cell phone, 844-416-8123. No better place to send your comments, ask questions, win prizes. OnSideRadio.com, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
ADHD. It's the child who can't pay attention or sit still in school, right? The answer may be yes. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, can be complicated and it can last a lifetime. Living with a condition can sometimes be a challenge. It may take years to accept a formal diagnosis, and it's not always easy to find the right treatment plan. Did you know that up to 75% of children and adolescents with ADHD have at least one additional mental health condition that also requires a comprehensive approach to treatment? ADHD guidelines were recently updated to reflect the need to screen for associated disorders. Be sure to talk with your child's doctor about proper screening and visit moretoadhd.com for additional information. That's moretoadhd.com. This message has been brought to you in partnership with ADA, ACO, and CHAD.
You know, the lying season in the NFL is extremely interesting, right? Because now you start hearing that Schefter reported that Atlanta has received several offers for the number 4 pick in the draft. And, you know, listen, yesterday we had Orlando D. Ledbetter on, okay? And I've known D. Orlando Ledbetter for, I don't know, almost 20 years now. And he is an exceptional beat writer. He knows Atlanta really, really well. He knows the Falcons really, really well. And so I wanted to bring him on yesterday to talk a little bit about what he feels the Falcons are going to do. And listen, nobody's perfect. Nobody's going to be able to nail everything down and all that good stuff. But he has a pretty good feel for this. And this is what I find very interesting in all of this. And I'm going to explain the chain reactions that are going on right now all over the draft. And I'm talking about not all over, I'm talking about in the top 6 picks right now, because that's all we care about right now, because we're Dolphin fans, okay? But let's hear from D. Orlando Ledbetter. Yesterday, I asked him about what direction do you think Atlanta's going? And if you missed that interview, you can listen to the podcast from yesterday. The interviews are there. We a la carte all of our podcasts. So the interviews are separate, the rants are separate, the hours are separate. That way you can pick and choose and hear what you want. If you only want to hear the segment I had on the Panthers, or the segment on the Heat, or the segment on the draft, or the segment on the Dolphins, or on Paul Pierce, you can listen to whatever you want on any of those rants. But listen to D. Orlando Ledbetter when I asked him about what direction does he think Atlanta's going in the 4th pick. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, I think they're going offensive line. The Penei Sewell kid is considered a difference maker, can start at all 4 positions, is legitimate, and blocking has been a problem here in Atlanta. You know, anything else would be a luxury item. You know, you can wait on the quarterback. you have a tight end. I mean, Matt Ryan's getting sacked 40 times a year now for the last 3 years, at least 40. 50 in 2 years ago. So, and they don't have a blocking that's good enough to open up any holes in the run game. So, if this kid is as good as everybody say he is, he's the pick at 4, and they're throwing smoke screens on these visits to Jamar Chase and, to let everybody know that they like Pitts too, and so forth and so on. And then Jalen Fields will certainly be a good popular pick here, but they don't really need him, especially after Matt Ryan was restructured and his contracts are, in the 40 million salary cap hits for the next couple of years.
So there you go. So he thinks it's going to be Penei Sewell. Now, here's the problem that's going on right now. San Francisco loves either Zach or Justin Fields, but they don't want to tell anybody what they love because they want the Jets to make whatever mistake they think they're going to make. Because if they like Justin, they want him to take Zach. If they love Zach, they want him to take Justin, right? So what happens? The Mac Jones crap comes in. And I told you guys last week, I wasn't believing that thing for nothing. And I think if the problem, look, they reworked, he explained it all yesterday. They reworked Matt Ryan's contract. So he's not going anywhere for a few years. By reworking it, that means they give him more guarantees and then pushed it back, which means the cap hits become that much bigger on the back end. So in order for you to kind of justify all of this, that means you're keeping him around. So you're really not drafting a quarterback to sit there for a couple of years because really you can only afford to keep him 1 year on the bench. You got to play him after that because if not, think about this. And this is going on with Green Bay. You draft Jordan Love. Now Aaron Rodgers has an MVP year. Aaron Rodgers doesn't look like he's going down in any way, shape, or form. You can't just trade Aaron Rodgers because your fan base would lose its effing mind that you're trading away a Hall of Famer in his prime that is still playing at an incredibly high level. So you can't trade him. So now you've got Jordan Love next year will not play again. And if Aaron Rodgers kicks ass again, he won't play in his third year. And then all of a sudden, if Aaron Rodgers then starts to show some decline after year 3, then maybe you make that move for year 4. But then that means you only get to play Jordan Love for a year. And what if he has a terrible year? Then you go into the 5th year going, dude, do we pick up the option? Do we extend the guy that was terrible in his first year playing? But then again, it's his first year. It's not his fault. And then it also, if you're the team, you're not getting the proper time to assess the guy. So it becomes just a complete crap load. So Atlanta knows or thinks probably that right now, going like, well, wait a minute. If Matt's here for the next 3 years, we cannot have a young quarterback here because he's going to sit for 3 years. See, in the old days, and again, some of you out there, because I'm old, well, they used to sit on the bench for years. Yeah, that's because they used to be able to control where they would go. Now, dude, it's called free agency. They're going to hit the market and they're going to get the hell out. So you're going to lose them for nothing. And then you can't trade them because if you're not playing them, nobody's going to give you anything because they don't know what the hell it is. So Atlanta is not going to tell you how much they love Penei Sewell. San Francisco is not going to tell you which quarterback they actually love. Miami is not telling you who they like at number 6. Everybody else is talking shit. Everybody else is getting fed a bunch of BS, and they're falling for it because it's the lying season. That's what's going on now. And how many people are looking stupid that kept thinking Miami's going to go quarterback? And all they've ever done is show you examples that they're not. All they tell you is they love their quarterback, they support their quarterback, and every move they've made shows you that they're trying to build around the quarterback they have. Yet you have people making stuff up. It's the lying season, ladies and gentlemen. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. The smart teams aren't going to tell you what they want. The stupid teams, like the Jets, already tell you who they want. Okay? I know because my favorite team in the world used to be really stupid. And they did everything wrong. Trades, free agency, drafting, hiring coaches, firing coaches, hiring general managers, firing general managers, owner, everything. Orange carpet, you name it. I've seen every wacky ass and wrong decision that can be made. Now that Chris Greer took over, they're actually running it like a real football organization. They've been top-notch on the business side for years. Because Garfinkel in the stadium and the practice facility and the new one coming and everything else that they do on the business side of the Dolphins is, exceptional. Their problem was football operations for many, 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 many decades now. Okay? And so now they've fixed that. And they're doing the things the right way. You don't say anything. You let everybody else talk. You don't talk to anybody. Chris Greer doesn't talk to Schefter. He doesn't talk to Armando Salguero. He doesn't talk to Omar Kelly. He doesn't talk to anybody. He doesn't talk to any of these guys. That was the difference between Jeff Ireland and Mike Tannenbaum and all these other guys that you had here. They were talking. They would pick favorites, and they would give them and feed them information. That's not going on anymore. Flores doesn't talk to any of these guys. He doesn't call Ian Rappaport and tell him Jack. He doesn't call Joe Shad and tell him Jack. Okay? When they tell you something, it's because it's not anything earth-shattering, but they'll tell you because now they want you to know. But meanwhile, during the lying season, they're staying quiet. So all of this, it's just stuff that it's just part of the game. Let's put it that way. That's the way you should look at it. Inter Miami CF fans, join us every road game. That's right. As we broadcast live from Dangerous Minds Brewing. Let's go, baby. The Dangerous Minds Brewing Company's at 1901 North Federal Highway in Pompano. So every road game now, myself and Alex Dono will be out there broadcasting live. Come on out and join us. They got great food, man. Their food is absolutely delicious. Their house drafts are awesome. They are through the roof, I'm telling you. We're going to have giveaways out there when we're out there. So Inter Miami CF fans, your new home for every road game is Dangerous Minds Brewing Company in Pompano. Follow them on Twitter at Dangerous Minds B and on Instagram at Dangerous Minds Brewing.
Now streaming online. OnSide Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com. Join the Inter Miami family in 2021 by becoming a 2021 season ticket member. Enjoy enhanced access benefits and pricing not available to general fans. Visit intermiamicf.com/tickets for more information.
If you missed Man of the Match with Alex Dono, you missed.
And this happens at a lot of food polls, right? When I put out a food discussion, and I claim that one thing is better than the other, the people who are the fans of the thing that I don't like as much will always say, oh, you've never had my abuelita's tres leches. Well, no crap. I don't know your grandma. She's never invited me. I hate that argument. It's like, oh, wait, you think tiramisu is better? You've never had my abuelita's homemade tres leches. Well, until she invites me over, bro, how am I supposed to try? You've clearly never been to Florence where they have great tiramisu, so don't give me your crap. You've never had my nonna's tiramisu.
Yeah, I haven't.
And you'll never have it. She's dead.
Oh, God.
You'll never have it.
I really wanted to.
You're SOL. She didn't save the recipe. It died with her.
Oh, no.
Man of the Match with Alex Dono on South Florida's home for sports talk, OnSideRadio.com.
With Make-A-Wish, the impossible becomes possible. A girl battling cancer can become a race car driver battling the course. The boy showing all the nurses his fire trucks can take the helm of a real one. Wishes can give kids with critical illnesses the strength to keep fighting, get better, and grow up.
Where there's a wish, there's a way.
Wishes need you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. Sean Stanley hosts the Square Circle Digest.
But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here. I'm the man.
Now, wrestling fans have a place to call home as Sean covers the very colorful world of wrestling. Tune in every Saturday from 9 to 10 a.m. on the home for sports fans worldwide, OnSideRadio.com. If you missed 4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh, you missed.
What?
Blatantly
So they'd be
obvious.
like Sauron.
You are not. No, you're not jumping to Hobbit. You are not jumping to Lord of the Rings.
Why?
No, because you're not. You're not jumping from Marvel to Lord of the Rings.
There aren't any Marvel movies that even touch Lord of the Rings.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm serious, bro. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna go watch. Yeah, you're right. Iron Man isn't better than a 19-hour-long 3-part Hobbit.
So Iron Man is your favorite Marvel one?
No, I just threw it out there. There's 23 of them or 26 of them for crying out loud. Thor Ragnarok. Watch that one.
I thought they were all Thor.
Oh my God.
Ragnarok.
No, Thor Ragnarok is an actual Thor movie. It's the third Thor movie. I hate you.
4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh, weekday mornings from 8 to 10.
At Baptist Health, we are ready.
To serve. To treat.
To safely proceed with your procedure.
We're ready for ER visits and office visits.
With skilled surgeons.
Advanced medicine.
And multidisciplinary teams.
We're ready for new arrivals.
And new recoveries.
We are ready.
We're ready to diagnose, treat, and manage
Anything that comes our way.
with exceptional care and comfort.
With the same preparedness and compassion you've come to expect from Baptist Health.
And we are ready
We're ready.
We're ready.
to care for you.
With Make-A-Wish, the impossible becomes possible. A girl battling cancer can become a race car driver battling the course. The boy showing all the nurses his fire trucks can take the helm of a real one. Wishes can give kids with critical illnesses the strength to keep fighting, get better, and grow up.
Where there's a wish, there's a way.
Wishes need you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
All right. We're back. We take it till 3. Alex Dono will take over at that point. Ira Winderman, by the way, is set to join us at 1:30. I got confused. It's Wednesdays normally, but this week it'll be Tuesdays because he's got some things. So we switched it up. So Ira Winderman will stop by in hour number 2 at 1:30. Kurt Heelan will join us at 2:20. Still working on another guest that I've been trying to corral. So we'll see if we can get lucky and pick up that one. Interesting stuff also yesterday in the NFL as the Jets trade Sam Darnold to the Carolina Panthers. And there is so many layers to all of this. Look, any of you that have followed me for a long, long time, you know that I was never a Sam Darnold believer. I never liked him at USC because he was a turnover machine. And it's something, a lot of people, they lay blame on Adam Gase. And there's no doubt Adam Gase deserves some blame, but I think it's kind of who he is, and we'll see if Carolina can straighten him out. Usually turnover-prone guys are turnover-prone guys, no matter what you do with them, however you work it. And it shows also that Carolina was exercising every way possible to climb up to the draft and try to get a guy. But they're probably convinced that they couldn't get into the top 3. And that tells me that they must love one of the 3 quarterbacks or all 3 or 2 of the 3 or whatever. But they must love those quarterbacks. And then after that, the love kind of dies out a little bit, whether it's Trey Lance, whether it's Mac Jones, you name it. They may not be as big a fans of those kind of guys because they think they're more projects. So they end up trading for Sam Darnold. They don't really give up a ton. They gave up a 6th-rounder this year, and they give up a 2nd and 4th-rounder next season in 2022. So you still keep your 1st-round pick this year. So you have an opportunity. Well, hell, you keep your 1st or 2nd. You keep your early picks this year so you can surround Sam with weapons and your defense and everything else that you may need to fix your team. And it's interesting because they had an opportunity to kind of go out there and try to make a trade, and they were aggressively, and everybody knew what they were trying to do. Remember what I told you about the lying season? Keep your mouth shut. Don't say anything. Well, the guys in Carolina have opened their mouths so much that they probably priced themselves out of something because they knew how desperate they were. And so then people are going to ask you for the world. It's kind of what happens. Well, they're dying to move up. All right, well, we can ask them for an extra 2nd-round pick. And they don't want to. Well, then too bad, so sad. You don't get your guy. That's it. So they kind of settle for Sam Darnold. Okay? And Sam Darnold, by the way, had a tweet that they put out. And it's kind of funny. I don't know if you guys saw, did you see it, Alex, the tweet that they put out for Sam Darnold?
No, I did not.
Okay, so for Sam Darnold, they welcome him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they've got a picture of Sam Darnold, and it says, out of New York indefinitely. Okay? You see it there? Out of New York. I don't know if the glare or whatever, sometimes, I guess, there we go. Okay? So out of New York indefinitely. Now, that was a tweet. That was a playoff of an ESPN graphic when he played another game earlier in the season that it said, out indefinitely, mononucleosis. So all they did was rearrange the letters and all of that. And listen, maybe a change of scenery will help this kid. I don't know. He was at USC and was a turnover machine in laid-back California. Then he goes to, high expectations and high pressure and, a large media contingent in New York and a starved fan base because, the Jets have sucked forever. And you can't live up to it. Now you're going to go to Carolina, which is probably a little bit more like USC, a little bit more laid back, although – I don't know, USC clearly gets way more coverage and media coverage than even Carolina. So I would argue that USC is probably treated more like a pro team than Carolina Panthers. So I'm sure he's going to, look at the Carolina when he sits there in the locker room and it's, 3 beat reporters. So it's going to be a whole different ballgame. It's a smaller media contingent, maybe 10, 15 people around you, not 300. That's the enormous difference of going from Carolina to New York. So maybe that kind of an atmosphere is good for him. We'll find out. The part B of that story is that people are wondering, well, what's next for Teddy Bridgewater? And listen, Teddy Bridgewater, I've had this conversation with you guys many, many times over and over. Fantastic young man. I think he's a great backup. I think Teddy Bridgewater, if he's starting for your team, then you will probably suck and you probably won't go many places because, unfortunately, he doesn't have the God-given gifts to make you an explosive offense. They didn't give him athleticism. The Lord did not give him a gun for an arm. He gave him a brain that is Pro Bowl caliber. But unfortunately, the body can't do what his mind would love for him to do. So that's why he survives, because he's so damn smart. He's a great young man. He's so likable, But in the end, once he comes on your team, you realize, yeah, he's just a jag. You know what I mean? It's just the way it goes. So Darnold goes there. So they're wondering where Teddy goes. Now, I know Teddy and the local ties, but I just want you to know that, you know how don't cry for me, Argentina? Don't cry for Teddy Bridgewater. Okay? Teddy Bridgewater's fine. He signed a 3-year, $63 million deal with Carolina. $33 million is guaranteed. So he's going to make $33 million. With Sam Darnold or no Sam Darnold. He may not make the 63, but he got 15 as a signing bonus, and he has 33 guaranteed. Okay? And his base salary this year is $5 million. Okay? I'm sorry, base salary is $17 million. Got a $5 million bonus already here in March. Now, do you know how much money Teddy Bridgewater has made in his career? He made $6.8 million in his first contract with Minnesota. He made $6 million 1 year with the Jets. He made $7 million 1 year with the Saints, and now 33. He's made $52.8 million. Don't cry for me, Argentina. Okay? Don't worry about it. He's just fine. Considering he is less than average, okay, talent-wise, he's made a boatload of money for a guy that you know cannot win for you, okay? And listen, I know some of you, well, didn't he go 5-1 with the Saints or 4-1? I think it was 4-1. You know, in those 5 games, I believe he threw 9 touchdowns. I mean, if you think you can win like that, they won like that because they got a great defense and a running game and an exceptional coach. So all he had to do was be a game manager, because that's Teddy's peak. He's at best a game manager. You know, yeah, could you win a Super Bowl with Teddy? Of course. But you need the 0-1 Ravens, the 0-3 Bucks, the 16 Broncos. You need a defense that is so special that all you need is 12, 14 points to win a game. Okay, Teddy and the noodle arm can get you that. But more often than not, unless you have a generational defense, you have no choice. But for those that are so concerned, because I see, well, what do they do with Teddy? And, poor Teddy. And Teddy will be just fine. He's made $53 million. Okay? And it's pretty good. Considering you're a quarterback that isn't a difference maker, $53 million, you're doing good, dude. You're doing all right. After taxes and age and all that, and he's smart. He'll probably reinvest some of that money. He'll have plenty of money for the rest of his life and his family, because Teddy's a smart dude. You know what I mean? But don't feel sorry for Teddy Bridgewater. Okay? He'll be just fine. Did you know that he made $53 million already in his career, Alex?
I had no idea, like not even close to that.
$53 million.
No, he'll be just fine, yeah.
He'll be just fine, dude. Don't worry about Teddy Bridgewater. Don't feel sorry for him. He has had one heck of a career already in the NFL, been able to play some, even start, has been given opportunities to start in multiple places, and cannot keep the job. So he's had every opportunity, more opportunities than most people, and he's made some really, really good money. So he'll find a home. He'll back up Sam Darnold this year, or they'll trade him. I don't know. Maybe a desperate team that gets an injury or something in training camp. Maybe they trade for him, something along those lines. But I could see him being on the roster at least for this year, and then maybe they part ways after that. So that way they lessen the cap hit, overall. All right, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. The text line, 844-416-8123. That's 844-416-8123. Every day at OnSide Radio, our hosts sit down at the round table, baby, to tackle the most important local or national sports headlines. The round table is podcasted daily. Search OnSide Radio on all platforms. Subscribe, rate, and review to listen to all kinds of station segments. OnSideRadio.com is the home for South Florida sports.
OnSide Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Every Thursday, NBA fans can catch one of the best basketball shows in the country when Ethan Skolnick and Ira Winderman host Inside the Paint. Listen to two of the most knowledgeable and connected reporters in the business. Get year-round insight every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. with Inside the Paint on the home for hardcore basketball fans. OnSideRadio.com.
ADHD. It's the child who can't pay attention or sit still in school, right? The answer may be yes. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, can be complicated and it can last a lifetime. Living with a condition can sometimes be a challenge. It may take years to accept a formal diagnosis, and it's not always easy to find the right treatment plan. Did you know that up to 75% of children and adolescents with ADHD have at least one additional mental health condition that also requires a comprehensive approach to treatment? ADHD guidelines were recently updated to reflect the need to screen for associated disorders. Be sure to talk with your child's doctor about proper screening and visit more2adhd.com for additional information. That's more2adhd.com. This message has been brought to you in partnership with ADA, ACO, and CHAD.
Big news, Miami fans! Body Armor is proud to be the new official sports drink of Major League Soccer and Inter Miami CF. It doesn't matter if you're a player or a fan, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you with potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. Whether you're at home or in the starting lineup, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you from kickoff to the final whistle. Body Armor, now the official sports drink of Inter Miami CF, available at your local Publix.
Inter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
On 4th and 20, Toast and Marsh give you great insight on the Miami Hurricanes. Sometimes they go a little too far.
Yeah. I love him.
Yeah. You do? You love him?
I love Manny.
You love him?
I love him.
Would you take him to breast if he needed, like, nourishment?
Oh, my God.
Would you? If you happened to be lactating and he needed nourishment, would you take him to breast?
If there's like a live or die situation?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd take
like you guys are on a deserted island.
Like my breast.
Your breast is lactating for some bizarre reason, and he needs sustenance, and you take him to breast.
Well, I believe in helping one another.
So you would take him to breast.
I would take him to breast.
Mm-hmm. All right.
4th and 20, weekday mornings from 8 to 10 a.m. right here on OnSideRadio.com.
At Baptist Health, we are ready
to serve, to treat,
to safely proceed with your procedure.
We're ready for ER visits and office visits
with skilled surgeons,
advanced medicine,
and multidisciplinary teams.
We're ready for new arrivals
and new recoveries.
We are ready.
We're ready to diagnose, treat, and manage
anything that comes our way
with exceptional care and comfort.
With the same preparedness and compassion you've come to expect from Baptist Health.
And we are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready
to care for you.
With Make-A-Wish, the impossible becomes possible. A girl battling cancer can become a race car driver battling the course. The boy showing all the nurses his fire trucks can take the helm of a real one. Wishes can give kids with critical illnesses the strength to keep fighting, get better, and grow up.
Where there's a wish, there's a way.
Wishes need you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
All right, we're back. The easiest prediction I've ever had in sports in 31 years now, because I'm in the middle of my 31st year in this business, and it was yesterday. It was Paul Pierce. I mean, it was so obvious that ESPN was going to fire his ass. And listen, this is a message for some of you out there that I don't know if you still don't get it, because I got this on my DMs, I got this on Twitter, I got this on email, I got this on Instagram, I got it on Facebook, I saw it all over the place. Oh, why can't the man live his life? Yeah, you can, but don't work for a corporation then. I mean, it's pretty simple, ladies and gentlemen. You have free speech. Of course you do. Say whatever you want in public. Post whatever you want on Twitter. Now, if you're an ice cream man, nobody gives a shit. I'm just saying, you're laying tar on a roof, nobody gives a shit. Right? Now, you work for a Fortune 500 company. You work for Inter Miami, the Miami Heat, the Miami Dolphins. You got a price to pay. You work for IBM, got a price to pay. You work for ESPN Disney, you got a price to pay. It's just the way it is. There's a huge difference, okay? Nobody cares about the dude that is even racist or says negative things or says positive things, and he is just working whatever, doing anything that's not in the big picture, not in a corporate setting. But you work for a government, you work for a corporation, you don't get the same freedoms, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have freedom of speech. Okay? Most of you out there could have the Paul Pierce party and you can get away with it with no problem. But if you're Paul Pierce and you work for IBM, okay, or you work for whatever, some kind of Fortune 500 company or ESPN, you're going to have to answer to somebody. You don't have the same freedoms. So you got to stop with that already. It's carried on differently. Now, Mr. Joe Fan out there, or Mrs. Joe Fan, or Mr. Ken, Mr. Karen, you've got a regular job that you don't answer to any corporate heads. You can go ahead and do all of that. But in a couple of years, if you want to get a job with a corporation and they find that on social media, guess what's going to happen? You won't get that job. So this stuff about, oh, it's my right, I can live whatever I want, and this not, let him live, whatever. Dude, Paul Pierce wants to hang out with hoes. That's fine. You're just not going to work at ESPN while doing it. You're just not. You get caught for prostitution, that's fine. Nobody finds out about it. Nobody cares. But if you work for a corporation, everybody finds out. And there are people that care. Okay? You may have a domestic violence issue. Nobody finds out except the people in your family, nobody cares. But you work for, Inter Miami, and you have a domestic issue, trust me, somebody's going to care. Somebody's going to worry about it. Somebody's going to tell you about it. That's just the way it is. So a lot of you live in this fantasy that you think, oh, it's a free country. I can do whatever I want. I can say whatever I want. No, you can't. No, you can't. It all depends on where you're at. And if you are getting a check from a major corporation, then you got different rules than the guy that is pulling a check by getting fruits out in Homestead. Okay? The guy picking fruits, the person working in Knott's Berry Farms, the ice cream man, which I don't even know if we have ice cream men anymore. They're not going to care what you say. They're not going to care what you do, bro. But if you're Paul Pierce, you have to answer to different people because there are corporations, there are sponsors, there's all kinds of big money involved, and they don't want to be tied to those kind of things. So, again, some of you need to kind of reassess the way you look at all of this stuff. Hour number 2 is next.
OnSide Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Welcome to OnSideRadio.com. Broadcasting from South Florida to the world. No station in South Florida provides more live and local sports talk.
This is like rock and roll with no music.
Follow us on social media at OnSide Radio.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Now streaming online. OnSide Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Time to get in the zone. The OnSide Zone.
Well, and look, man, I don't care if you're my wife. If I don't agree with you, I'm going to say it. You know what I mean?
The OnSide Zone.
He's a liar. And there's nothing new about that. He's full of crap. If you're believing that, I got a bridge in the Keys. It's the one on the right side. Just want you to know, when you're going south, you'll see the smaller bridge on the right. I've got that one for sale if you're interested.
You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
That's the one boy band that I will say, dude, I'll stand up for Boys to Men every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Love those guys.
You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. You can connect with us at OnSideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. The OnSide Zone with a Big O.
All right. Hour number 2. We are ready to rock. We are ready to roll. Hope you're all doing well out there. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Make sure you smash that like button. If you're listening to the podcast, please rate and review. Very, very important. Retweet the YouTube link, Twitch, our podcast, all of that stuff. Share it with all the folks. We appreciate it as we watch everything grow every single day. The potential is amazing thanks to you all out there. And I think more and more South Florida fans, locally, nationally, worldwide, they're finding out that we're the station that actually talks more local sports than anybody else in town. So I think, slowly but surely, it isn't done overnight, but it is growing, and I thank all of you out there. Tremolio, by the way, while you and I have fun going back and forth about cryptocurrency, and no, I have not taken my money out. You don't take the money out now, bro. They're not peaking, but it's all right. But, Cardano, I've got heavy invested in Cardano, and it only is up in the 120s. That thing's going to go to $3 to $5 by the end of the year. And so it's going to go even higher than that. But anyway, so you got to have a feel. VeChain, I have it. I got it like at, 8, 9 cents, 7 cents. And I think it's going to be easily $1 by the end of the year. So you gotta have some patience. The crypto market just goes like this. Everybody's getting in on it. But Tremolio, I want to give you credit, even though you have not become a believer yet in crypto, which eventually you will. We'll convince you eventually. But I do want to thank you because he goes, Big O, you know what's cool about your station? And it's not my station. It's our station. It's really Jorge Mas' station more than anything else. But anyway, you know what's cool about the station? You don't have those interstation baby drama fights like at QAM. You guys are a family there. Well, now that I have to take credit for that part, because as I've put everything together, Alex knows it. I tell every producer, I better not see any kind of fighting. Nobody's fighting here for a guest. You're going to help somebody else get a guest. They're going to help you get a guest. You're going to help them get sound. They're going to help you get sound. It's all teamwork here, okay? Host will help hosts. I'm not here to compete with Toast. Toast's not here to compete with me. I'm not here to compete with Kai. I'm not here to compete with Dono. I'm here to help Dono. I'm here to help Kai. You know? I'm here to help Juan on the weekends, and Austin Robillard, and David Dwork, and Sean Stanley, and everybody that we have on this station. Alex and Chase doing their baseball show. If they need anything, they know I'm here to help them. That's the only way we're going to grow. And there's no way that I'm going to have all that interstation fighting and all that crap going on. And it's great for you guys because you like to hear the drama, but I've worked inside of it, and it's a toxic attitude. It's just not good. You know what I mean? Like, you're a station that's trying to compete against other stations, but then you find yourself fighting amongst each other? No, dude. I'm not having any of that. So if you're not a team player, you won't be here. That I can take credit for. If you're a team player, you're going to be here, and you're going to be here for a long time. You know, prayers, everything goes well, and support and everything. Then we'll put it together. But that's how we're gonna all have fun together. I've never been on a station ever in 31 years that every show crosses over. Never seen that in my life. I've seen one show cross over maybe to another. You know why? Because those two hosts happen to get along. But if another host doesn't get along with oh, no, I'm not doing crossovers. You know, all that kind of crap. And that's just not the way it's going to be here. So, Tremolio, I appreciate you noticing that, because we're all going to have fun with each other. We're going to go back and forth on sports arguments. We're going to make fun of each other, make fun of me. We'll make fun of Marsh. We'll make fun of Toast. We'll make fun of Sean. We'll make fun of Dono. We'll do all of that. The station promos do all of that kind of stuff too. But it's all in fun, okay? Now, I'm not doing any of that, man. I'm not doing that. I don't want Alex to walk in and say, oh, God, dude, I got to work with Abel. I got to work with Sean. Oh, I got to work with Tito. I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that, dude. I want to make sure that when everybody walks in, they look forward to working with each other, because that's how we're going to make each other better. You know what I mean? The round table. You ever heard of that, Alex? You ever seen any station do something like the round table?
Never heard of that until here.
That's right. You know, I'm not here to reinvent radio, because I'm not reinventing radio. I'm not telling you I'm going to reinvent radio. All I'm going to do is try to create camaraderie, because I feel it's a better environment when there's camaraderie. And I feel like everybody wants to come to work when there's camaraderie. When there's tension and there's inner fighting, and then it makes everybody's job harder. One producer's hiding sound from another. One producer's erasing sound of another. I mean, you know, all that kind of stuff. And that happens. I don't know, Alex, how many rodeos you've been a part of, but there are stations where producers are sabotaging other producers. Okay?
Well, that makes no sense.
I understand that, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Okay? That's just the way it is, and that's just not who I'm all about. I won't have that. Well, you know why? Also, here's another thing. I have fought for every inch of my career. Okay? For my 31 years, I have fought for it. I have earned everything that I've gotten in my career. I was never given anything because I'm somebody's sidekick. I wasn't given anything because I'm an ex-athlete and they hand you a freaking job. I wasn't given a job because I knew the owner or the owner's son, and then they hired me and this and that, and then they give me none of that. I earned everything, dude, from being intern to producer to a reporter to a host, you name it. I've done it all in this business. And so I know what it's like to have to fight for everything. You understand? And I don't mind fighting for everything, because I'm still doing it right now. But I don't want them to have to go, like, this is Alex's, you know, he's a baby in this business. I don't want him to go into a toxic environment like QAM has been forever. You know what I mean? Well, because it's led by corporate people that don't care about human beings. You know what I mean? And that's just not what I'm about, man. So, Tremolio, thank you for noticing, my brother. I appreciate you. And listen, a lot of you that have followed me and have met me, and we exchange, we talk, we DM each other. Some of you have my phone number, so that's kind of the way I am. That's how I've always carried myself. You know what I mean? Any of you that have met me out in the street or anywhere else, you know it. Okay? Yeah, I'm passionate about sports. Yeah, I got a strong opinion about things. Yeah. But that has nothing, I can compartmentalize the two. And just because I disagree with you doesn't mean that I'm not going to like you. Who cares about that? You know what I mean? So, yes. Tremolio, thank you for noticing. That's kind of that's the environment that I'm trying to create. And I think so far, what do you think, Alex? We got a pretty good environment in this place?
Absolutely, yeah, man. I love coming to work here. This is awesome. It's fun, and it's sports radio is supposed to be fun,
right?
So why not? So why not like joke around and goof off a little bit? It's supposed to make people relax and have a good time.
My favorite text since I started this thing was from Sean Stanley. He said, "Thank you for making radio fun again," because Sean, unfortunately, over the last few years, has not had a lot of fun in radio, and I can. Deal with that with him because I've been through some of the hell that he's been through. And so I know how it's like. He's been in some of the places I've been at, and so he knows how toxic those environments have been. And so when he said that to me, it was, it made me feel good. Like, okay, at least we're trying to do something the right way here. And hopefully you all out there will notice it. You'll climb on board. You'll talk to others. And hopefully this thing will grow. Should be a lot of fun. Let's see. What else do we have on the text line? Big O, I don't diss your currency trading. I'm just a little different trader. I day trade stocks. I do trade crypto stocks, but never hold overnight. I do not trade cryptocurrency. All right, well, listen, bro. Just do me a favor. I just want you to do me a favor, Tremolio. Okay? All right? Get whatever you can that you want to lose. Okay? That you don't care about losing, which I know you're not, but I just want to make you a little money, okay? V-Chain right now is around 11 cents. 11 cents a coin, okay? Put a couple bucks on it, all right? You can find it on crypto.com. Open an account, or maybe you have one already, and just let it sit there, whatever it is. 40 bucks, 50 bucks, $100, just let it sit there. A year from now, just talk to me a year from now. That's all. That's all. Just telling you. Just do that. And you'll be all right. It's not a huge investment, but I think it'll turn into a pretty good comeback when it's all said and done. Just go study V-Chain. Go look at all of the partners that V-Chain has now. Look at what they're doing. Okay? I would have told you Engine Coin a while ago, but now it's gone up. So no. You know what I mean? But V-Chain's one that, do it. Trust me. Trust me. You'll thank me later. A year from now, 2 years from now, you're going to go, holy moly. Wow, that was a good pick. You'll see. Trust me. Hold it. Not overnight. Hold it for real, for a while. Some of them you got to stay. Watch the market. It only goes up. The altcoins, you have to be careful on which ones you invest in. That's why I invest in Cardano. That's why I invest in V-Chain, because I know where they're going. I know where Crypto.com is going. Crypto.com is around 20, 21 cents. I think that thing's going to explode. It's got a bank. It's got a credit card. It's got a cryptocurrency market. It's got the NFT. It just started its own blockchain. They got businesses being built on that blockchain. Crypto.com is a sleeping monster like V-Chain. Just saying. Try me. You'll see. He says, okay, I'll wear a zoot suit. Oh, I guess you're talking about something else. Ray says, well said, Orlando. I've been following you since the 90s, and you're the hardest working man in radio, period. Well, I don't know about hardest working. There's a lot of guys that work hard. Joe Rose's a guy that's always worked hard, too. But, there's Donald works his ass off. There's a lot of people that work their asses off, but I appreciate the love, man. I really do. Thank you so much. Let's see. The Boom Boom Room, by the way, is open for the lovely ladies, Holly, Selma, Sophia Page, and Charlize. And Beyonce want to know who needs a ride to the Boom Boom Room. I am sending the limo out. I'll be there. I'm there. No IGs, okay? No IG lives. Jorge Mas doesn't need to find out about where I'm at, okay? So that's the difference between me and Paul. See, if I have that party, the party goes on the down low. Everybody turns in their phones when they walk in. Yo, no checking your phones, no videotaping, no pictures. Nobody knows. We're just going to have fun. That's what Paul Pierce had to do. Somebody tweeted this out, Alex, that was hilarious. Because they took a picture of the viewers. And he goes, Paul Pierce threw everything away for 315 viewers. Which, by the way, I was thinking about that. I was going, damn, Paul Pierce only got 315 views? That was the max of his viewers? Or you would figure with that kind of content, that thing would be exploding and thousands would be watching simply for the women that were on it. Talk about a dude that just pissed it all away, man. Holy moly. OnSide Radio, by the way, understands that gaming is a big part of the sports landscape. That's why every day we keep you updated with some of the latest gaming news with OnSide Radio's E-Minute, hosted by Toast Kai and Michael Christian. If you miss it, listen, it's podcasted daily. Search OnSide Radio on all platforms. Subscribe, rate, and review. OnSideRadio.com, the station gamers call home.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
She's kind of a big deal. Some people like to say it's only because of how she looks. She sticks her tongue out a lot. But there's just something about her that makes people do crazy things, like get tattoos of her face, or wait in line for hours just to say hi. Lil Bub is a 2-year-old cat, an Instagram celebrity with a following bigger than some 90s television stars. And it all started because she was adopted. You can't buy a best friend like Lil Bub, but you can adopt one. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Riddle me this, with all this sizzling meat and crunchy veggies nestled between toasty flatbread, who should get credit for Papa John's new papadilla? The person who invented pizza or the person who invented folding? Well, whoever it is, a tip of the tongue hat to you, sir or madam. Get a new papadilla, 4 flavors, just $6 each. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's.
Big O for M&S Air Conditioning. You know, air quality in your home and business is more important than ever. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning and let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit. Folks, it attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. With stellar customer service, answering your call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. For more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans, visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
Every Thursday, NBA fans can catch one of the best basketball shows in the country when Ethan Skolnick and Ira Winderman host Inside the Paint. Listen to 2 of the most knowledgeable and connected reporters in the business. Get year-round insight every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. with Inside the Paint on the home for hardcore basketball fans. OnSideRadio.com.
Big news, Miami fans! Body Armor is proud to be the new official sports drink of Major League Soccer and Inter Miami CF. It doesn't matter if you're a player or a fan, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you with potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. Whether you're at home or in the starting lineup, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you from kickoff to the final whistle. Body Armor, now the official sports drink of Inter Miami CF, available at your local Publix.
If you missed Man of the Match with Alex Dano, you missed.
So Deshaun Watson has sat down with new Texans head coach David Culley. Did he have his teeth in for the interview, David? He's a little older.
Hold on, let me get my dentures in here, Deshaun.
Deshaun, hey, just give me a second. We're eating this pineapple here. It's getting stuck in my dentures.
Was he watching Murder, She Wrote during the meeting?
Deshaun, it's getting a little late here. It's 7 o'clock. I got to go to bed soon, all right?
Deshaun, it's 4:30. I've got to go to the early bird special.
Deshaun, give me a second. I'm just taking my Metamucil here. If you just give me a second.
I've taken Metamucil before, actually. It works. I'm not even that old.
Man of the Match with Alex Dono, weekdays live on South Florida's home for sports talk, OnSideRadio.com.
All righty. We take you, of course, till 3 o'clock. My man Alex Dono will take over then. If you want to get in, it's really simple. 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Alex Dono, by the way, says Tremolio. Does Tremolio keep all of his money under his mattress? Kind of. Yeah, I think Tremolio is really old school. Sells crypto, makes like $3, and then he stashes it under the mattress because he only hangs on for it for one day. How do you always pick up on it for one day? I'll give you guys a trick in cryptocurrency. You guys want a trick? It's really simple. Now, if you have some extra cash, this is an easy way to make money on crypto. Bitcoin has these dips. And it's normal for them to, dip a couple percentage points, which they'll go down 3, 4, 5,000, and then it'll climb right back up again. It'll go to a higher number, all that good stuff. When it goes down, a lot of altcoins drop. And then that's your moment where you buy the altcoins, then Bitcoin shoots up, altcoins shoot up, you dump. You do a Tremolio. Tremolio, that's your trick right there, buddy. Watch Bitcoin. It drops. When it has those dips, you go to certain altcoins, like let's say Decentraland, and it goes down to like 94 cents, and then you buy there, and then it'll go back up to like $1.07, $1.10. Boom, you sell it. There's a lot of altcoins that do that. You can do stuff like that, and just follow it on the next dip. Watch a couple of the altcoins dip. And then they'll go back up again. And then you'll wait for the next one, and you'll know the dips, and then you'll be able to take advantage. Stellar it's been climbing. But when Bitcoin drops, Stellar drops. So you buy in a Stellar if you want to do your Tremolios. And then when Bitcoin goes back up again, the altcoin goes back up, you dump. There you go. Stellar, by the way, is a really good investment. It's been a good investment for a while. Big O, any info on what's going on with the draft in your show? We will have that answer, I hope, by the end of the week. In fact, I don't know if I should go or not now. I don't know if we're there yet where we can have crowds. I don't know how many of you are actually going to go and all that kind of stuff. And then the other thing I'm worried about is at the Hall of Fame, are they going to allow us all in a group to sing the fight song and all that kind of stuff? So I'm wondering if I'm better off just waiting till next year and I think we go to Vegas, and then I think we should be cleared by then and everything should be fine. So I don't know yet. I haven't given up, but if certain people step up locally, then maybe we could do it here and we could put it on camera and we could put it on YouTube, and so everybody will be able to follow the draft, whether you're with us wherever we're at, or you could watch us virtually doing the draft. So we are trying to figure something out. We promise you that. Okay? Let's see. Ezio says, I don't know, Orlando. I have my money spread over 6 Vanguard ETFs, and I've had a return of around 20%. Well, listen, dude, if you're getting returns right now, you stay with it, my brother. You stay with it. I'm just saying, for anybody that wants to, try it, I'm not a financial advisor. I just love playing the crypto market. But that's why I give you VeChain, because it's really cheap and it's not much of a gamble. And I think it's going to turn out to be a really nice investment when it's all said and done. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Let's see, what else do we have? Tremolio tracks all his trades daily. My daily average profit is $920. Does Dono make $900 per day? No, he makes a lot. I think he makes like $9,000 a day. Yeah, Dono is, he's a beast at the crypto market. I think he's clearing like $9,000 a day. The guy's an amazing. He just doesn't give you all the secrets. That's the problem. I try to squeeze it out of him. I try to tell him, yo, come on, bro. Cough up some of the advice. Let's go. You're pulling up in a Bentley. I don't know if you guys know this. He owns a Bentley. Yeah. I mean, that's just his car to go to work. That's not even the car he uses to go out. Okay? I mean, that's just, forget about it. When you see that Aston Martin, that's at another level. Seriously. I mean, when you go to Coco Plum and you find the biggest house there, that's probably Dono's. He won't tell you any of this. I'm telling you. He doesn't have a man cave. He has a man stadium. Seriously. I mean, it's amazing. Dug a hole under his house. It's like about 100 yards. Nobody knows about it. Well, now they do. I'm sorry. Sorry, Dono. So, I mean, the man is, I'm telling you, he's probably the most interesting man in the world right now. $9,000 a day in crypto. Guy's amazing. So, if you can get any of the secrets out of Dono, please help a brother out. Come on. Jesus. He's got all the ins. I'm telling you. All right, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. Let's do this. Let's take a quick break. We'll talk basketball on the other side. The Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat report with Ira Winderman is next.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
He was the heart of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around, and every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect, in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage. The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at storycorpsconnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
He has an overbite that makes him look like a cartoon character, a slightly crooked eye, and an uncommonly wrinkly neck. In the right light, he can look a little like a garden gnome, and he'll wear a bow tie just because. Sure, you might call him a little quirky, but that's exactly what makes him so perfect. Tuna is a 3-year-old Chihuahua Dachshund mix with more than 700,000 followers on Instagram, and it all started because he was adopted. You can't buy a best friend like Tuna, but you can adopt one. Help us save them all at bestfriends.org.
Inter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
Catch a South Florida staple every afternoon as Alex Dono hosts the Man of the Match. Dono covers everything from football to foosball to MMA. Tune in to one of the most complete sports shows in the country with Man of the Match with Alex Dono from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. every weekday, exclusively at OnSideRadio.com.
Riddle me this. With all this sizzling meat and crunchy veggies nestled between toasty flatbread, who should get credit for Papa John's new papadilla? The person who invented pizza or the person who invented folding? Well, whoever it is, a tip of the tongue hat to you, sir or madam. Get a new papadilla, 4 flavors, just $6 each. Better ingredients, better pizza, better than a sandwich. Papa John's.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnSideRadio.com sports update.
Congratulations to the Baylor Bears. They are the NCAA men's basketball national champions after an 86-70 win over Gonzaga. It is the school's first men's basketball national title. It's a busy day in South Florida sports. The Miami Marlins lost Game 1 of the series against the Cardinals 4-1 last night. They're back at it tonight at 6:40. Sandy Alcantara is on the mound for your Miami Marlins. The Florida Panthers look for their 7th win in a row tonight as they visit the Carolina Hurricanes. Puck drops at 7 p.m. And the Miami Heat host the Memphis Grizzlies at the AAA tonight. Tip-off is at 8 p.m. Yesterday, the New York Jets and the Carolina Panthers made a trade sending QB Sam Darnold to the Panthers for a 6th-rounder in 2021 and a 2nd and 4th-round draft pick in 2022. With the OnSide Sports Update, I'm Alex Aguirre, and coming up, it's more of the OnSide Zone with the Big O right here at OnSideRadio.com.
What is dedication?
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is Dariana. We call him Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's attention, affection, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. The craziest thing was believing that your dad knew everything. So as a dad, you felt like you had to know everything. You had to get everything right. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as it's coming from love, then, it kind of starts to work itself out. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
It's time to talk Miami Heat with NBA insider Ira Winderman. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat Report, exclusively at OnSideRadio.com. Let's go over the latest headlines locally with the Miami Heat and league-wide in the NBA with our very own Ira Winderman.
All right, we're back. It is time for the Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat Report with Ira Winderman. You can follow him on Twitter at Ira Heat Beats. And, of course, catch his exceptional work at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. You can catch him all week here throughout the week with different reports. Ira, good afternoon, my friend. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing good. Looking forward to tonight's must-win game against the Memphis Grizzlies amid the shocking report that Justice Winslow is injured and won't be playing for Memphis tonight.
Shocker. Justice Winslow injured. Shocker. Paul Pierce fired. Shocker. I mean, these are all...
was a shocker. No, the last one was a shocker. I got to admit, when I saw that Instagram post and when I saw the news about that was a shocker. I was like, really? Could you be that, for lack of a better word, stupid? That to me was incredible. To be earning $1.5 million a year just to talk about basketball and blow that in literally the blink of an eye, I thought that was crazy. Now, a lot more shocking to that than Justice Winslow not playing for the Grizzlies tonight against the Heat at 8 p.m.
The amazing part about that video, okay, a minute in, you're not thinking it's a bad idea. 2 minutes in, you're not thinking. 5 minutes in, 8 minutes in. At no point did the awareness ever step in for him. And then, it's just like he followed up with it. All that's it is really baffling to me how you could be that stupid. But then again, You've run into it, and so have I, at different levels. You have these entitled entertainers, athletes, musicians, politicians. You know how it is. They just feel like they're above the law and they're going to be able to get away with it. And, sometimes when you got to understand that, I was talking about this earlier, Ira. The average guy that works out there, average woman that works a job that's not part of a big corporate whatever, they can say things on Twitter and get away with it. They can do things. Nobody's going to care. But those of us that are tied to corporations, you have to answer to somebody for all this stuff. You don't have freedom of speech. You don't have freedom of expression. Those things are not really available to you in the corporate world that you and I have been dealing with for a long, long time.
And just don't broadcast your life. You don't have to broadcast your life. I mean, it's a great lesson to all of us as parents also. If you don't broadcast your life, you wind up in a better place at the end of the day.
Amen.
This whole notion that you're important enough, that your 24/7 has to be viewed by people, that's where this whole thing started. It started with, Myers Leonard, of course. I don't need to see him twitch his, his video streams, and he could just be playing in a different, sort of realm with other people without doing it. But it's just a constant look at me that gets you in trouble. Because you know what? We keep looking, and eventually you'll see something. But another story for another day. So now we'll have to find someone else to publicly criticize the Heat constantly, like Paul Pierce did.
I'm with you there. All right, so I was talking about this with the Heat. And if they're going to make a deep run, I really feel that Oladipo has to become efficient. But you have such a short window to get there to be efficient. So I don't know if you're going to be able to get there. Maybe with an off season and the conditioning and everybody working with him, they could get him to be a more consistent shooter. So how do you get there? Do you have him play off the ball and attack the rim a lot more for more higher percentage, shots? Because the shot isn't falling, and it's kind of unfair to ask the Heat to all of a sudden fix a guy that's kind of been semi-broken for the last couple of years.
No, I think what happens is when you get to a highly talented ensemble team, you realize what you don't have to do anymore. That's also what Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh learned around LeBron, and even around LeBron, that he didn't have to force shots. So, I kind of disagree with you.
Cool.
I think this is easy for Vic. I think Victor simply has to step away and say, okay, you know what? I don't need to do that because Duncan Robinson does that really well, because Tyler Hero does that really well. There's others. I know on one hand he's playing for his massive free agency contracts, but on the other hand he has people who honestly do much better at what he doesn't do well, and he'll hide his flaws. So I think what the Heat really need to do with Victor Oladipo is sit down with Victor, go through Victor's menu, and say, okay, we're going to drop this item from the menu, we're going to drop this item from the menu, and we're going to drop this item from the menu because it's not selling very well, and I think it'll become easier. And I think that's what the Heat have done over the years, and also, the Heat have also shown that if you play into their style, they don't need to be overwhelmed by the stats. If you work well in their system, you will get compensated. They will take care of you. And the perfect example is Jimmy Butler. And yes, he's had some triple-double days, but he's also had plenty of games where his statistical line was not overwhelming, and he had great games because the Heat also value the defense, which is there. So I think it's going to be relatively simple for Victor with one caveat, if he is healthy. And I am very curious to see how Eric Spoelstra, a week from now, handles the back-to-back, where I believe it's Wednesday they're in Phoenix, and Thursday they're in Denver. Tuesday in Phoenix, Wednesday in Denver. How does he handle his veteran players on the back-to-backs? Can Victor Oladipo, for the first time in over a year, play a back-to-back? That's going to open a little bit of window to me to see how reliable and durable he can be as well. But they'll make it work. You know what? The lesson, we have learned about the Heat, they find a way to maximize talent. They are very good at that.
All right, so the obvious follow-up to that is, I agree with you that that's what they need to do. That's kind of what I said, that do they need to have him drive more instead? But the question is, will he be accepting of that? Will he be willing to take those things off his menu because it'll also showcase less of him and maybe he feels it's less value for him in the offseason? So What kind of player, what kind of person is Victor Oladipo? Is he the guy that takes into coaching and becomes a team player, or is he more of a me player? Do we get a little more white side out of him in that situation? What do you foresee?
I think he is the kind of player who has always wanted to play for the Heat. So he will do what will cast him in the best light as a Miami Heat player to be re-signed in the offseason with the Heat's actually wouldn't even be cap space. It would be going over the cap and using his bird rights. So I think it's the best of all worlds for him because he can be the player who also helps the Heat retain Iguodala, retain Goran Dragic, makes it easier. So I think he totally buys into the system. And again, you know what makes you money? Oh, and we saw this last season. Winning. Success. Yeah. Jay Crowder getting $30 million over 3 years from the Phoenix Suns. That's what gets you paid. Derrick Jones Jr. getting nearly $20 million over 2 years. Winning matters also. So if I think, and I know this sounds cliche, if Victor Oladipo plays winning basketball for the Miami Heat, then he'll be fine, then they'll be fine, he'll get his money, they'll get the player they want. They want to make this work. And again, if you're saying, well, if it doesn't work with Vic, then they can go out and chase Kyle Lowry. And we've spoken about this on previous shows after the trading deadline. You're talking the difference between 35 years old and 28 years old. And so they can get younger. They can have a player that bridges the gap between 31-year-old Jimmy Butler and 23-year-old Bam Adebayo. So there's a lot to make it work here for all sides involved.
Well, let's hope they can do it. Your assessment of all the additions so far, because Bjelica has looked also pretty good. It looks like all three guys are well, I mean, Oladipo's got to kind of find the offensive side of it, but still he has bought into the team concept.
Sure. I wrote it in my Ask Ira at sunsentinel.com today. I mean, it's almost like Pat Riley pulled off a triple play. He just got what he needed in the spots he needed, still one big man short, and it's worked. Look, I think the revelation of the three, when you're talking about Nemanja and you're talking about Victor, is Trevor Ariza. And it's interesting. Eric Spoelstra said this to us after practice yesterday. He said that was the easy part. All we're asking Trevor Ariza to do is the exact same thing he has done for the last 12 years, to be a 3-and-D, to focus on defense, to give us complementary offensive scoring, to space the floor, and he's done all of that. So I think they were ahead of the game once they made that trade just for a second-round pick with the Oklahoma City Thunder and sending out Myers Leonard's contract. They were already ahead of the game, and then they pulled the Victor Oladipo thing at the midnight hour of the trade deadline. So now I want to see the one more thing. And, the one more thing has to come by Thursday. By league rule, you can only stay at 13 players for 2 weeks. The 2-week mark is Thursday. It might just be a 10-day contract. But we know the Heat needs one more big man. Tonight's a perfect example. They're going against Jonas Valanciunas. Huge body. The last game, they at least had Kelly Olynyk to put him on him. Now they have Bam Adebayo. You'd like another big body. Interesting story. One of the guys working out in South Florida trying to get back in the league, say what you want about him, is Greg Monroe. Maybe a 10-day contract there. Maybe see if he could play your kind of defense with his moose-like defensive mentality. But they'll play around with that, and we still have to wait till Friday, which is the final day for a player to get waived for the NBA buyout market. So far, I'd say Pat Riley has pulled off a triple play. I want to see if he can pull off a grand slam.
Wait a minute. Where's Greg Monroe been playing? Like, he's been out of basketball for a couple of years, right?
I think he has been lighting it up in Macedonia or wherever. He's been in Europe now for 2 years. The last time he played in the NBA was 2019. So he's been out of sight, but you know what? They do need that kind of body. They need that kind of body that when they're going against another big who could just sort of lay some weight on him in that situation. So I am kind of curious. And again, all the bigs are getting signed. Damian Jones signed with the Kings. John Henson just signed with the New York Knicks. TJ Leaf signed with the Portland Trail Blazers. So eventually you're going to have to find your body. And honestly, that's all they need. They just need one more big. They don't need more scoring. They don't need more defense. They don't need another wing. They don't need the playmaking point guard because they have Oladipo, they have Butler, they have Adebayo. They have guys who could play make anyway. To me, it has to be a big, and it has to be a big of size.
Wow, Greg Oden. Wow, that's a
Greg Monroe. Greg Monroe.
Sorry, Greg Monroe. It's just a blast
If
from
I
the
said
past.
Greg Oden, then I apologize because
no,
I wouldn't go that far.
You said Monroe. I got it mixed with Oden.
Now, or if I said Eddie Curry, then I apologize also.
Iguodala, I know he's been dealing with the hip. Do you think he plays tonight, or do they kind of save him?
No, I think he plays tonight because basically they made him available to the media yesterday, and the Heat's approach always has been if you're not playing, you don't do media because they don't want you talking about injury. I think the more interesting thing with Iguodala sitting out on Saturday against the Cavaliers, about Goran Dragic sitting out on Thursday against the Warriors, I think they're starting to spot their players now as far as giving their older players rest. Remember, you got a situation where, Iguodala is 38, Ariza is 36, 35, Goran is 34. You have some, Bielitsa, I think, is 32. You have older players. So I am curious how it's going to work out. It's interesting. Eric Spoelstra said, we do not use the term load management. We don't believe in that. God bless anyone else who does. But clearly, I think you have to say, hey, we got a bunch of 30-somethings. We want to play into, as crazy as it sounds, into July. So I think you have to be careful with your guys. Andre Iguodala, I see no reason he's not good to go. He is not on the injury report, or at least wasn't as of last night.
All right, good stuff there. What are you expecting tonight against the Grizzlies?
Grizzlies a little shorthanded, but again, it's going to be the same game that they played against them in Memphis. They have to control Ja Morant. It's interesting now because now they have another person who can go against Ja Morant and sort of help on that. So I'm curious to see what the situation is going to be as far as who they defend him with. Do they throw multiple defenders at him? They have a whole bunch of different guys that they can go in that direction. So I think, look, it always starts and ends with Ja Morant when it comes to the Grizzlies. Memphis is banged up. And again, the Heat need this game. And the Heat need their game coming up on Thursday against the Lakers because, after that, they're on the road all next week. West Coast, Portland, Phoenix, Denver. Yes, Minnesota, but then they come home against Brooklyn. They need to stack victories. I need to be talking to Kai on his show on Friday morning and talking about the Heat being on a 6-game winning streak because they're going to have some tough challenges coming up after that.
Bielitsa, does he look like a keeper? Does he look like the kind of guy that's going to stick around after this season's done?
He'll be a free agent. He's talked about loving being here. If you believe he's more than a minimum salary guy, then he'll probably go out and look for his money, like all guys go out and look for their money. But again, I can't tell you, the kumbaya that I have felt every single newcomer. He sits down there in front of that Zoom camera and talks about like he's found his piece of basketball heaven. Trevor Ariza, Nemanja, Victor Oladipo. So he wants to be here, but you know what? So did Derrick Jones Jr. So did Jay Crowder. But when we get to free agency this year in August, it'll still come down to the money. The one thing I'll say about Pat Riley, if it's not Nemanja, it'll be someone else because Pat finds those kind of players. I never really worry about Pat finding his replacement players. Sometimes it doesn't work out like Mo Harkless and Avery Bradley, but on the back end of the roster, he almost always finds a way to make it right.
Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat, and of course you can catch all his work at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. You can also subscribe here locally to OnSide Radio. Subscribe, rate, and review. You can hear all of Ira's segments all throughout the week here at OnSide Radio. Ira, as always, my brother, stay away from Paul Pierce and have a fantastic night.
And as always, Godspeed and good luck in healing to Justice Winslow. Thank you, Big O.
You got it. Oh, man, that poor kid. What a shame. What a shame, because he's got – and it's – some guys have the skill set, right, but they can't stay healthy. And that poor kid's body has just failed him over and over and over again. It is a real, real shame. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side for the final segment of hour number 2. Hour number 3, Kurt Heelan will join us at 2:20. I think he was at that party. I don't know. We'll see.
This has been the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat Report with Ira Winderman. Visit Craig's Inn Acura at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines. Come experience the dealership that has earned Dealer Rater's Consumer Satisfaction Award in 2020. Acura of Pembroke Pines is creating the oasis you deserve. This is how we do it. We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
For over 20 years, Mr. Glass has been committed to the safety and satisfaction of our clients. Our products are the culmination of innovative engineering, aesthetic appeal, and the highest levels of quality. Through our legacy, Mr. Glass strives to impart the true meaning of quality, service, and sustainability to new generations. Reputation, experience, and trust is why clients choose Mr. Glass. Live the future now. Locate a dealer near you today.
If you missed NBA insider Ira Winderman and the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat report, you missed this.
Andre Iguodala sort of like that, the old Cadbury Easter egg. It only shows up, rarely, like once a year. Andre shows up in the fourth quarter. I almost have to check the bench early to see if Andre's at the game yet in the first quarter or the second quarter. He's done a really good job with measuring the time for guys. Eric Spoelstra knows. He's been through enough deep playoff runs to know.
The Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat report with NBA insider Ira Winderman, exclusively at OnSideRadio.com.
At Baptist Health, we are ready
To serve. To treat.
to safely proceed with your procedure.
We're ready for ER visits and office visits. With skilled surgeons. Advanced medicine.
And multidisciplinary teams.
We're ready for new arrivals.
and new recoveries.
We are ready.
We're ready to diagnose, treat, and manage
anything that comes our way
with exceptional care and comfort.
With the same preparedness and compassion you've come to expect from Baptist Health.
And we are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready
to care for you.
Inter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
Can I get a captain and...
Captain and what?
Captain and Ginger?
I can't hear you.
Captain and Ginger!
He was a captain and Ginger! Captain and Ginger! He was a captain and Ginger!
Captain Morgan, official partner of Major League Soccer.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
You're listening to OnSideRadio.com. Catch up anytime by downloading the MyTuner Radio app. OnSideRadio.com, South Florida's true hometown station.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back. So Juan Cardona put out a collection he has of action figures. So I'm tweeting back to him like, where's the Paul Pierce action figure? Too soon? What? I don't know. You know what Paul Pierce should do to make up for that moment? NFTs of that night. Telling you, bro. Put it on the blockchain. You'll make it rain in other ways. Paul Pierce. Some of the women were kind of hot. You just give them a little piece of it, and that's it. And by the way, did you see what Paul Pierce tweeted out? Okay. So he tweets out after getting fired by ESPN, he just tweets out a picture of him laughing. Okay? Here's the audio from his tweet that he posted after getting fired. Go ahead, Alex. And this is, Again, this is ignorance and defiance and a lack of awareness still with the dude. Like that's and then he put big things coming. Like what?
Hashtag smile.
Yeah. And so Vivid is going to now sponsor you. Is that what's going to happen? Right? Sexy poker with Paul Pierce. Is that what's going to happen? The skin game and poker with Paul Pierce. I don't know what, you tell me. What are big things? You might see me with an NBA team, he said. Well, now, what NBA team is going to hire you now? What NBA team was going to hire you in the first place with some of your wacky ass statements? And let me tell you, I know that 99% of Heat fans are I'm wrong, right, Alex? It's 100% of Heat fans are enjoying this, right? Yeah, it's 100%. Yeah, 100%. I think there's a law that if you're a Heat fan, you got to hate Paul Pierce. I think that might be a law. So 100% are enjoying this. But the guy, that's a lack of awareness. He has no awareness at all. The awareness meter is gone for Paul Pierce. Okay? He can't pick up on anything. 3 minutes into the video, I wonder if I should be doing this, something like that, No, just let's keep rolling. Let's keep going. Give me another shot. Let me hit a blunt. Yeah, they're not going to do anything. The mouse parties with me. Nobody knows, but he parties. He's all right with all of this. And then that's what he tweets out. That's what other businesses want to see. Your ignorance at that moment. Yeah, let's hire that guy. He gets it. Yeah, no, an NBA team saying, we want Paul Pierce as our GM. Listen, at this point in time, the only job Paul Pierce can get, okay, is entertainment coordinator for Rick Pitino. Okay? If Rick Pitino is looking for an assistant coach to bring the Iona players a little pleasure in between games, Paul Pierce is your guy. The Paul Pierce Poker Hour, right? You bring in the Iona players. They have some fun with the girls. They feel better. They walk away with COVID and maybe something else. Who knows? And they're off to play. If Paul Pierce wants a job right now, he can get one. Rick Pitino's got a job for him at Iona. There's no doubt about that. That was too funny, man. That was too funny. Oh, man. All right, let's wrap up hour number 2 here on the program. If you want to get in, we can open the lines for you, 888-441-4623. The text line. I have not gone to the text line. I need to go to the text line. We'll start it off on the text line. Also, we'll answer your questions at 844-416-8123. Of course, on Twitter. Yeah, wow. I'm hitting Paul Pierce's blunt here. Anyway, on Twitter, at Big O Show, so you can reach out to us there. And, of course, if you're watching on YouTube, please smash the like button on YouTube, okay? Smash that like button. It is so important. It's probably one of the most important things you'll do is smash that like button and support our sponsors, because that's how you're going to make an enormous difference, obviously, for us and help us grow. So we appreciate all of you out there. So smash that like button if you're watching on YouTube or on Twitch. Alex Aguirre is driving the program, kicking some ass, putting it all together. We'll take a break. We'll come back on the other side. Kurt Heelan will join us in the second segment. When we come back, Steph Curry shows a lot of class. FIU, I don't know what they're doing, but they did something that just is head-scratching. We got to talk about that. We got idiots in Texas. Nothing new there. What else do we have? One of the hottest offers on the planet happened last night. I got to tell you about that hot offer. We'll do that in hour number 3 right here on OnSideRadio.com.
OnSideRadio.com knows gamers need a home.
Can you dig it?
That's why for the next 60 seconds,
Can you count
suckers!
Here's your OnSide Radio E-Report with Michael Christian.
Warzone. Call of Duty's Battle Royale is finally getting an update, but it's not the update everyone was hoping for. The latest leaked footage shows a brand new live-action trailer for the new changes coming to Warzone. Specifically, the changes are going to take the map of Verdansk and move it back to the 1980s. A lot of players were hoping that it would be a new map entirely, however, it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. You can expect these changes to happen after a live in-game event that will take place April 22nd, and you don't want to miss it. Just make sure when you do, you have an AUG and an FFAR, because if you don't have those, you ain't got nothing.
Stay in touch in the world of gaming with the OnSide Radio E-Report. We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. OnSide Radio. No station in South Florida provides more live and local sports talk. Follow us on social media at OnSide Radio.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Now streaming online. OnSide Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan. Time to get in the zone. The OnSide Zone.
Well, and look, man, I don't care if you're my wife. If I don't agree with you, I'm going to say it. You know what I mean?
The OnSide Zone.
He's a liar. And there's nothing new about that. He's full of crap. If you're believing that, I got a bridge in the Keys. It's the one on the right side. Just want you to know, when you're going south, you'll see the smaller bridge on the right. I've got that one for sale if you're interested.
You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
That's the one boy band that I will say, dude, I'll stand up for Boys to Men every day of the week and twice on Sundays. Love those guys.
You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. You can connect with us at OnSideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. The OnSide Zone with a Big O.
All right. Yes, it's hora número 3. Right here on OnSide Radio. We thank you all for tuning in. We thank you all for keeping it locked. We thank you all for subscribing. And those of you who are watching on YouTube, smash that like button, all right? Smash it. By the way, Alex, did you see what happened at FIU?
No, I did not.
So they hired an assistant coach, and his name is Casey Horney.
Oh, okay, yes, that of course the name rings a bell now.
Yes, Casey Horney got hired, and so you listen. I was having a little fun with it myself. It was one of those things. Casey Horney. I immediately put out Paul Pierce's favorite coach is Casey Horney. So he's a special teams coordinator. And listen, if you've listened to me long enough, you know I've never been a Butch guy, ever. I've never believed that Butch is a guy that is going to take your team ever X's and O's. I've never thought he was a difference on game day. Some of you UM fans, you're so freaking blinded by it because he had a great run as a recruiter in Miami. But X's and O's, he's never dazzled anywhere. Not at North Carolina, not at FAU, dude. Lane Kiffin was eating his lunch okay, and spanking him on a consistent basis. So he couldn't even dominate in the, what is it? It's not the Sun Belt now. It's the American Conference, right? Or
Conference
something?
USA.
Conference USA. He can't dominate any of those conferences.
He has helped the program, though. Like the program has never had this type of success prior to him arriving
What kind
at
of
FIU.
success are you talking about?
At least reaching bowl games.
Oh, they did that with Cristobal, 2 bowl games in a row.
And then they had a massive drought in between that.
Yeah, but he still has the best player ever in T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah, no, that's for sure. That T.Y. Hilton's for sure the best football. Well, Jonnu Smith is up there, but T.Y. Hilton for sure is the best football player out of FIU.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he had a linebacker, too, that lasted for a couple of years in the league also. But it's just one of those where – and where's it gone the last couple of years?
Well, when Butch Davis first got there,
right,
they had a couple of bowl game appearances, so it looked like the program was going to reach newer heights that they've never gone before. But then the next 2 years, they've gone back into somewhat mediocrity in Conference USA play.
Right. And so now, they've kind of gone backwards the last couple of years, correct?
Yes, for sure backwards compared to the first year, 2 years there.
So what was it? Did he inherit some pretty good players that he was able to work with and then he couldn't maintain it? Is that what's going on?
Somewhat, yeah. And it's funny you mentioned the recruiting, his recruiting skills, because that's been a huge knock on him the last couple of years as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
It doesn't help, though, when you're competing against, let's face it, UM is in your backyard, UF, FSU. Not saying that, like, FIU in terms of recruitment is up to par with them. Is just, you're always going to take a massive back seat in the state of Florida compared to those other schools I mentioned.
Now, Nicole Auerbach, who does an excellent job of covering college football for The Athletic, she tweets out, Casey Horney spent 9 years under Art Briles at Baylor as the assistant director of football operations. After Briles lost his job in the wake of the sexual assault scandal, Horney continued to be a vocal supporter of Briles. So she kind of like doused water on it. Like most of us are going to have fun with the name Casey Horney because, okay, that's it. You got a coach named Horney. I mean, come on. How do you take that serious? But how desperate is Butch that he brings a guy with this kind of a history? You know what I mean? And again, like I said, I don't think he's any great shakes. A lot of you UMers out there, you're so blinded by that run, and which, by the way, it wasn't like led by great coaching or anything like that. It wasn't like he went on to win a national championship or anything like that. So, and I know that he was bringing them. He was the guy that took the program out of the probation era. But he did a great job of recruiting. That he did. But the one thing that I always told people, and I continue to say it over and over again, he is not the guy that X's and O's wise is going to make a difference. And if you want to use the excuse, well, he's kind of old now, maybe he's lost his fastball. But wait a minute. Some of you wanted him at the University of Miami. So if he can't actually dominate in Conference USA, how the hell is he going to dominate in the ACC? And it wasn't like he went to North Carolina. And by the way, Alex, at North Carolina, it's not like he's competing with UM, FSU, and Florida anymore. Right?
Right. No, you have a good point there.
It's not like that state is known because, oh, my God, the teams in North Carolina are incredible football programs.
No, baseball.
NC State, North Carolina. Yeah, it's basketball.
Basketball.
It's Tobacco Road more than anything else. Yes, you are right. They are good in baseball. You are right. The seamhead that you are, you would know that. So, but, it's kind of funny how a guy that is so desperate to win, this is what you're bringing on board because you're dying to win, so you bring a character like this. And I wonder how many people at FIU knew about this history. Nicole, she does an awesome job, and she kind of like shed the light for all of us. Because I got to tell you something. I was just having fun with the name Casey Horney. I did not realize that he was the football operations guy for Art Briles. So that means he knows about all that stuff that went on over there. How would you associate yourself with that? This is why Butch Davis at times, to me, is kind of like a car salesman more than anything else. You know, yeah, he can sell and all that, but there isn't a lot. And I'm talking about nothing wrong with car salesmen, but I'm talking about the car salesman that's on that little cheesy lot that has the 27 used cars that have gone around in the odometer like 8 times, but they've got them lowered down to 43,000 miles. They tell you, yeah, no, this car's in great shape. You know, that kind of, that's kind of what I feel. Like, if you ever watched the movie Used Cars, and I know most young people have not, kind of like that. That's the way I look at Butch Davis. That's how I've always looked at him. I've never believed that as an X's and O's, as a coach, that he was going to be the guy that's going to lift any program. Not North Carolina, not FIU, and certainly not Miami. Okay? He had his moment in the sun. He took advantage of it. He got on a little roll. Things went well for him, and that's it. But outside of that, I would not ever think that this is a guy that I would definitely want to turn my program around. But whatever. Okay? I'm seeing here DMX, by the way, continues to be on life support and is in a vegetative state. Earl Simmons is still on life support, has little to no brain activity or function. Former manager told the New York Times and BuzzFeed on Sunday hundreds of people showed up to support DMX. They had the vigil yesterday, and it was, I will say this, I was impressed with the love that DMX was getting over in the hospital out on the street, because it was, hundreds of people. I don't know if you got to see it after you got home, Alex, because I know you didn't even know anything about it from the weekend. It was a really interesting Monday, right?
Right.
Because I sit down to do the crossover with Kai, and he has no idea whatsoever about Paul Pierce's video. Okay? And this is happening on social media, which I would figure a young man that's less than half my age should, kind of know about these things. And then I have another young man here that's about less than half my age, right? You're not older than 27, are you?
No, I'm 25.
There you go. See? Less than half my age. So, and I asked him about the DMX thing, and he had no idea what had gone on Friday with DMX and leading into the weekend. And so it's funny how the old 54-year-old dude sometimes is more hip than some of my 20-year-olds. It's amazing. But did you see the crowd yesterday?
Yes, we did. Me and my dad actually saw it last night because at dinner last night he talked about it, and then that's when I mentioned what you were talking about.
Well, your old man's like my age then.
Exactly. Yeah, he's in his mid-50s.
So he loves DMX too?
He doesn't love DMX. He just knows of DMX.
Okay. So he doesn't listen to DMX?
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
No.
I do. I love DMX, dude. I love DMX. But then again, I guess I'm a weirdo. I'm probably a 54-year-old dude that, acts a lot younger than 54, I think. I don't know. Maybe. Possibly. I'm not sure. But it kind of seems that way. Okay? But prayers to the Simmons family. It doesn't look good for Earl, because when we're talking about a guy that is in a coma, vegetative state, the brain doesn't have a lot of function. I don't know how many times you're ever going to pull out of that. And even if you pull out in some form or fashion, are you even close to being yourself at this point? You know what I mean? And so that's going to be really tough, that if he ever pulls out of this, does he even come close to being himself? Can he live the way he's going to end up being? Maybe he won't even know any better. You know what I mean? It's just not the way you want to check out. Put it that way. I hope the good thing is right now that he's not suffering. Okay? Because clearly the man has had some demons that have just torn him up for a long, long time. We have a thing that we do on our station here. It's called the Round Table. And in the Round Table, we pose this question to everybody out there on our station, and all of our hosts address the Round Table segment. Then Alex Aguirre puts it together at the end of the day and then tweets it out. You could subscribe on podcast at OnSide Radio. That's where we're going to put a lot of our station segments. We already have the E-Report and the Roundtable there. We're going to add some more stuff that's coming down the pike that we're setting up. So all of that, those station segments will be at OnSide Radio. So today's Roundtable question is, with a little over 3 weeks away, what is your perfect pick for the Miami Dolphins at the number 6 spot in the 2021 draft? And I'll tell you this, Penei Sewell would be an awesome selection because you would improve the offensive line, the protection for Tua. All of that is very understandable. I like Miami's offensive line. I think Robert Hunt can grow into the player. I think Austin Jackson can grow into the player. I like what I saw from Solomon Kinley. I'm not ready to give up on Michael Dieter yet, okay, because he's still a young lineman. So they've got guys that they can build on. And they've got enough depth with Jesse Davis and Eric Flowers and all that stuff. So I think they've got enough guys to do a good job with that offensive line. And all those guys will build up their bodies and the experience. I think Jamar Chase would be phenomenal. Jamar Chase opposite of Will Fuller, the fifth, would be, two jets running downfield and driving anybody crazy with Gesicki working the middle of the field. I know they're going to draft a running back. That would be awesome. But for me, Kyle Pitts has got to be the pick. And that's the pick I'm hoping for. I will not be disappointed if you end up with Jamar Chase. I will not be disappointed if you draft Devonta Smith. I will not, okay? Or I won't be disappointed if you get Penei Sewell because they're all needed. But I just think Pitts creates the mismatches that you can't match up against. That's the difference. You can find fast corners and some that might be able to stay with receivers at times. You cannot find linebackers that are going to stay with this guy. You're not going to find a safety that's tall enough to catch it at its highest point. Physically, you're not going to be able to stop him on the line. Okay? And I'm not like my boy Omar or some others that they get hung up on the blocking so much. The game has changed. There are some guys that block, and most guys don't. They're pass catchers. And to me, Pitts creates the ultimate mismatch with Gesicki. He makes Tua's life super easy. Okay? Because it's hard to match up with Gesicki. Think about this. When Fuller, Pitts, and Gesicki, and if you want to put Parker on the other side, are on the field, Gesicki is going to have the worst person on the field covering him. He's going to eat him alive. And if you want to put your free safety on Pitts, he's going to tear him up. You want to put your linebacker, he's going to embarrass him. So for me, I want to get the guy that is an impossible match. And to me, Kyle Pitts is that guy. It's just he's a special individual. And Miami would make a huge mistake if he's sitting there at 6 and you don't take him. Let's take a break. When we come back, Kurt Heelan from Pro Basketball Talk joins us next.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
Big news, Miami fans! Body Armor is proud to be the new official sports drink of Major League Soccer and Inter Miami CF. It doesn't matter if you're a player or a fan, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you with potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. Whether you're at home or in the starting lineup, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you from kickoff to the final whistle. Body Armor, now the official sports drink of Inter Miami CF, available at your local Publix.
If you missed 4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh, you missed.
I'm a closet I'm a huge Saban fan.
I like Bama.
I always consider myself like a closet
Bama fan.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought you were going to give me crap for saying that.
No, I got an Alabama hat at my house.
Me too.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
Listen, bro, I appreciate
greatness.
I appreciate excellence.
Yes.
4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh, weekday mornings from 8 to 10.
Hello, Inter Miami CF fans. Download the Drink AR app and play inside a first-of-its-kind virtual soccer stadium, hosted by Bodega Trevento and Inter Miami CF, and celebrate your passion for soccer from the comfort of your own home. Find the download links on our Instagram account at Treventus and get our wines delivered straight to your home with a discount for all Inter Miami CF fans. Discover Trevento, a shared passion.
Hey, it's Big O. You know, air quality in your home or business is so important now, folks. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning. Let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. M&S is always on call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. and, of course, emergency Sundays. Call for more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans. Visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
You can now watch OnSide Radio daily by subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels. Search OnSide Radio, log on, subscribe, rate, and review OnSide Radio on YouTube and Twitch. Watch Toast get frustrated with Marsh. OnSideRadio.com. South Florida's home for real sports talk. You can connect with us at OnSideRadio.com by sending us a text at 844-416-8123. Save it on your cell phone, 844-416-8123. No better place to send your comments, ask questions, win prizes. OnSideRadio.com, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
We're back. We're awaiting here to get in contact with Kurt Heelan from Pro Basketball Talk. He might be a little worn out. Paul Pierce, that's he's in Los Angeles. That party looks like it was in Los Angeles. Paul Pierce, you just never know. So I think he got Kurt Heelan into that web. So we will ask Kurt Heelan, what was it like being in that party with Paul Pierce? What kind of energy was in that room? How much was that room trembling? All these kind of things we got to ask, because there's a lot of women that were actually twerking. So there's a lot of craziness going on. So we gotta ask Kurt Heelan about that. Got to see if he's recovered from it. All right, follow him on Twitter at Basketball Talk. Catch his work there at NBC Sports. Kurt, are you recovered from that Paul Pierce party?
I'm doing better than Paul Pierce is.
Wow. I mean, my favorite part of all of that is, like a minute in, does the awareness step in and say, this is not a good idea? 3 minutes in, 5 minutes in, 8 minutes in, at no point did it ever register to him that I work for a corporation and all that good stuff. I've told the listeners throughout the day today, some of you out there, you do have freedom of speech. You guys can do whatever you want. You can do a Paul Pierce party. You can say whatever you want. Nobody's going to care. But anybody that is tied to a corporate setting, you don't have freedom of speech. You don't have the freedom to do whatever the hell you want and show it off to everybody. Why? Because there's a penalty to be paid. And you and I have lived in that kind of a bubble most of our careers.
Exactly. And it's funny. I've said this to a lot of people. I'm like, I'm pretty forgiving on what you can, for the people who've worked for me at NBC, I'm pretty forgiving about what you can write. I want to be open-minded. I want different viewpoints. Just remember, NBC has a lot of lawyers on its payroll, man. A lot of lawyers looking for stuff. And you're never going to get in trouble with a basketball opinion, but stuff like that, you just have to know. I mean, basketball players are at strip clubs isn't some sort of shocking news, but you can't go do your Instagram.
Right. Yeah, have the party, but have it on the down low, dude. Collect everybody's phones when they come in the door and say, yo, this can't go on the air. We can't do this. Paul's here.
Yeah.
He's going to get in trouble. But then if Paul's the one, the other thing in this video I was thinking, is everybody there all right? Or is anybody on the down low too? Because maybe there was a married dude that was there, and here's Paul Pierce like filming everything. He's kind of pulling an Antonio Brown in the Steelers locker room, that kind of deal. And so I wondered if there was another dude in that film that got in trouble because his lady found out that he was at Paul Pierce's party, and he's the guy that's getting one of those lap dances. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that absolutely can happen. Or in a social media camera world, like Lou Williams, remember during the bubble, got busted for going to his favorite strip club,
right.
For the Wings. For the Wings. I mean, they actually do name the Wings after him, to be fair.
Yes.
But that said, what really got him in trouble was he showed up. It's not that he got there and got out or he posted anything, but I think it was Jack Harlow. It was
the rapper, yes.
Yeah. Puts his name up. I'm like, you can't. He's going to put that on social media. You can't. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly that. Like, you know what? In your off time at night, if you go into the club and take some precautions, so be it, man. But you gotta think this through.
Is the Nets situation actually exceeding what a lot of people expected? Like, you knew the talent, but you were wondering about the chemistry, the injury history with some of the guys, all this stuff. But they're overcoming all of this. And Kyrie Irving has actually really done a lot to make an enormous difference in kind of a leadership on the court, as you say. I mean, is it going better than expected pretty much at this point with the Nets?
Yeah, I think so. I think that we thought two things. Their defense would be awful, and it's not good, but it's when they're all dialed in and when they're all healthy and play, it's okay. It's average, and that's probably good enough with their offense. But I think the other part of it, you're touching on it, really. Oh, there's only one basketball. We all had this question. Like, who's going to sacrifice? How are they going to share? They've kind of figured that out, and the role players are stepping up. You're seeing, Claxton's still getting his minutes. Joe Harris is hitting big shots. Guys are stepping up in their roles and taking advantage. DeAndre Jordan taking advantage of the minutes they get. And that's key. Like, ultimately, for all the talent around it, yeah, the Lakers won last year because they had LeBron James and Anthony Davis, but they also had Caldwell Pope hitting threes and Rajon playoff Rondo being important to them. Michael Jordan's going to kick it to Steve Kerr, and if Steve Kerr hits it, he's a hero. You've got to have those role players, right? And Brooklyn kind of looks like they got them.
Biggest surprise to you right now in the Eastern Conference? Atlanta, Charlotte, or the Knicks? Because all three right now are in the top 8.
Oh, I would normally say the Knicks here, but I thought there'd be some bump with Thibodeau. I thought Charlotte was going to be bad, and I thought that they were going to be forced to just basically give LaMelo the ball and just kind of see what happens. They've turned out to be.
And after they lost Ball, we thought then it was really going to get bad, right? Because
I think
right?
Yeah. I thought so, too. I think it is now. I mean, losing Gordon Hayward, they're without Malik Monk, who was playing really well of late. The injuries have just really caught up with them, so we'll see how much they hold on. But that team was just much better than I thought it was. James Borrego did a really nice job there, too. I thought that team was going to be I thought they were going to be looking again at a top draft pick to pair with LaMelo, and instead they're looking like a playoff play-in team in the East. That we'll see how far they slip with all these injuries, but they've surprised me more. The Knicks, I thought there'd be some bump under Thibodeau, and he might still be coach of the year, but I'm more surprised by Charlotte.
On the flip side, are you more surprised that the Pacers or the Raptors aren't in the mix at the top 8 right now?
I thought Toronto would be better than this. Pascal Siakam, now he's kind of out, but they just have not. They have not been nearly as good. Kyle Lowry's been in and out, but They were basically a 500 team, and then the COVID and injuries hit them, and I think they've won like 2-13 or something ridiculous for a stretch there. So they've really struggled of late, and I just didn't see that kind of drop off. And part of it is that they obviously were going to miss. You lose both you lose Gasol and Serge Ibaka, and for all their flaws, like that's a lot to make up with Chris Boucher. But I thought they'd be better than this. I thought now we're like, can Toronto hold off Chicago and get one of the play-in spots? That's just not a conversation I thought we'd have about them this year.
On the flip side, in the Western Conference, the Lakers, it hasn't been as bad as everybody expected after AD and LeBron went down. They've actually won some games. Again, they're not tearing out the world, but I almost think like maybe a lot of us might be surprised that they've been able to keep their heads above water a lot better than we expected.
You know what? They've won the games they had to win in this. They were never going to beat Milwaukee, right?
Of course.
Like they were doomed. But they did beat Cleveland. They did beat Orlando. They did beat a just struggling Kings team, which we should rename them the Struggling Kings. We should just put it on the logo. They've won those games that they had to, and you're right. That's enough to keep them above water. Their concern, the real concern, is you just don't want to fall into seventh. It's going to get interesting in the West, by the way, Orlando. Would you rather be seventh and get what's seen as a potentially less dangerous Phoenix team, but you've got to go through the play-in, so you could end up anywhere. There's randomness there. Or do you want that sixth seed, but you're probably getting the Clippers or Denver?
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. That's Utah has actually really put themselves in a really nice position.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, they have.
But again, we still don't talk about them. It's not like anybody is expecting them. It's still the Lakers. It's still, can the Clippers do this? It's still kind of the Nuggets thing. It's Utah, kind of the Rodney Dangerfield situation. Is it just because it's Utah? Let me pull the old man card. It seemed like we gave much more love to Stockton and Malone and respect to those guys than we're doing with these guys. Is it because they haven't accomplished a lot in the playoffs? What's the deal?
I think that's it. Part of it, it's small market and not on TV. And it's not, what do they do? They're doing it with defense and ball movement, right. and not, with all due respect to Donovan Mitchell making some plays, they're not doing it with, oh my God, I love Donovan Mitchell, but he doesn't have that LaMelo Ball. Man, I want to watch this guy. Part of him, right? Where he's not on the same. He doesn't have the same it factor where he's just making the crazy passes, or Jokic, or all the number of other young stars. They don't have that, but they're such a good ensemble. They're such an amazing team. So I think that's part of it. We sleep on them, and part of it is they just haven't done it in the playoffs. We came around to giving Stockton Malone respect because we watched them against Jordan's Bulls, and we're like, yeah, that's a good team. You realize how legitimate they are. They're going to have to do it they're going to have to do it. But you're right. They, by the way, home court probably matters more to them than anyone. They've got loud fans. They want that base. Plus, you always forget, man, they're almost a mile high. They are absolutely at altitude, and it helps.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. All right, so we had Ira on. Ira Winderman, of course, Ira, been on the Heat beat since day one, so we all know he's the vet. And so I posed a question for him, and he had a great answer for it. I said, with Oladipo, how important will it be for them to try to make him an efficient player? And so Ira's counter was, you don't really have to make him efficient. What you have to do is tell him, hey, we got to take this off your menu and this off your menu. So it's the three-point shot. It's a long-distance shot. Hey, let's drive more to the hoop. Let's use your athleticism more to the hoop, because we've got the Duncans and we've got the Tylers. We've got the guys that can actually shoot. Goran Dragic. We don't need you to be out there 22 feet away. And I thought it was a great answer. And then I asked him also, would Oladipo be willing to take those things off his menu? Because then that makes him less sexy. You're going to be a free agent at the end of the year. Do you need to show people? Do we get a Whiteside attitude out of him? And Ira doesn't think so. Ira thinks that because he's always wanted to play here, that I think he's going to conform and do his best to make the team better and play to the strengths that he currently has at this moment in time. How do you feel about that? Do they need to make him more efficient or find his other strengths and maximize those?
You know what? I'm going to steal a story. Brian Windhorst was talking on his podcast recently where he talked to Steve Kerr about Steve Kerr. He shot 57% from three in his senior year at Arizona, and he only took like 5 a game. And Brian asked him, like, why didn't you shoot more threes? And he goes, you were shooting so well. He goes, if I shot 9 a game, I would have hit 40%. Like, he was hitting these wide open, very efficient looks, and he was knocking them down. That's where you've got to get the mindset with Oladipo. I think Ira is spot on. He's had to be this do-everything scorer who took a lot on his plate, and he just, post-injury, he just can't be that same guy. But if you can dial his usage back, and like you said, hey, man, give it to Tyler Hero. We've got Jimmy Butler. Give it to Bam. Bam's so good. Get it to all these guys. You put less on your plate. You take a better quality of shot. He'll fit in better. And I think Ira is spot on about the other thing, which is my first thought was it would be very tough to get him to do that anywhere else, but he has wanted to be in Miami. It's no secret how badly he wants to be in Miami. And because of that, he makes himself more valuable. If he buys in and doesn't buck the system, then he's just more valuable.
Kurt, I know one more thing before I let you go. The Heat are going to need to sign another big body, and they're about to do that. Who are the names that are out there? Because a lot of people have signed up, and it seems like it's dried up the market out there. Is there anybody that you see that can give a little size to Miami and kind of fit in with what they're doing?
The names you would know just kind of went off the board over the weekend.
Ira gave us one. He said Greg Monroe is working out down here. That might be one.
That might make sense. You know what? Greg Monroe is a good example of, and there's probably a guy or two I'm going to forget off the top of my head of, he's just solid. He's fine. He's a competent NBA big man who can give you – you're going to need that size come – it becomes about playoff matchups, right? Ultimately, you're going to have to throw a lot of big bodies at Joel Embiid. You can't just guard him with Bam, and there are other examples. You need that guy on the bench to soak up some minutes, and in very specific matchups. If Monroe's working out down there, that's a solid pickup. It's always kind of a health thing with him, but maybe he does better in Miami. But there's if there was a sexy name out there, it'd be off the board already. The Clippers picked up DeMarcus Cousins, and I'm like, all right, good luck with that. It's a 10. They gave him a 10-day, so to be fair, you can't really hurt yourself. But I think that everybody gets. It's kind of like oh my gosh, the Nets got LaMarcus and the Nets got Blake Griffin. I'm like, yeah, but it's 2021. It's not it's not 1995 where that would be a really amazing combo. So.
Right, I'm with you 100%. All right, brother. So make sure if you do fire off that IG live. Okay, it's PG. PG on the IG. Okay, I just want you to know.
Since my wife is within earshot of me, I don't even know what a strip club is. I've never been to one. I have no idea what that is. So,
follow him on Twitter at Basketball Talk and catch his exceptional work at NBC Sports. Kurt, as always, you're a stud, my man. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
You got it. There you go, Kurt Helaman, always coming through for us. We love him, man. He is just an exceptional dude. Telling you. OnSide Radio gives you a ton of options to listen to the station. You can now download free apps from, let's see, MyTuner Radio. Simple Radio works great. Radio FM, Podbean, Radio.net, Zeno Radio. You get it? There's like 6 different ways you can listen to, of course, OnSide Radio. Download any of these free apps and listen to your favorite OnSide Radio host or Inter Miami broadcast. Visit our website at onsideradio.com to find all of these links.
Every Thursday, NBA fans can catch one of the best basketball shows in the country when Ethan Skolnick and Ira Winderman host Inside the Paint. Listen to 2 of the most knowledgeable and connected reporters in the business. Get year-round insight every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. with Inside the Paint on the home for hardcore basketball fans. OnSideRadio.com.
ADHD. It's the child who can't pay attention or sit still in school, right? The answer may be yes. Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, or ADHD, can be complicated and it can last a lifetime. Living with a condition can sometimes be a challenge. It may take years to accept a formal diagnosis, and it's not always easy to find the right treatment plan. Did you know that up to 75% of children and adolescents with ADHD have at least one additional mental health condition that also requires a comprehensive approach to treatment? ADHD guidelines were recently updated to reflect the need to screen for associated disorders. Be sure to talk with your child's doctor about proper screening and visit more2adhd.com for additional information. That's more2adhd.com. This message has been brought to you in partnership with ADA, ACO, and CHAD.
Big news, Miami fans! Body Armor is proud to be the new official sports drink of Major League Soccer and Inter Miami CF. It doesn't matter if you're a player or a fan, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you with potassium-packed electrolytes, antioxidants, and no artificial sweeteners, flavors, or dyes. Whether you're at home or in the starting lineup, Body Armor sports drink will hydrate you from kickoff to the final whistle. Body Armor, now the official sports drink of Inter Miami CF, available at your local Publix.
Inter Miami CF, your official furniture and mattress store, is here. City Furniture is your #1 home source for the trends you want at the prices you'll love, including exclusive City Furniture collections, the widest selection of styles, affordable home accents, mattresses starting at just $99 and more. Create the home of your dreams fast with next-day delivery, plus get 60 months special financing with no down payment. Because City Furniture is here to make it easy so everyone can live life like this, visit cityfurniture.com.
If you missed 4th and 20 with Toast and Marsh, you missed.
If he goes to Liverpool, I can't have an American on Liverpool.
Why?
Okay?
Whoa! What are you talking about, Austin? Why can't you have an American on Liverpool?
I can't have an American. As a Manchester United fan,
Oh, shut up! I didn't know you were a Man United. You red devil bastard! I didn't know you were a Man United fan. I don't. We're gonna have to talk about having you on every week now. I don't know if I can do this. I had no idea that you. Oh, stop!
I didn't know you were a Liverpool fan.
Oh my God! No wonder you've got Neville's you know what in your mouth. Oh, good heavens to Betsy! Oh my God!
4th and 20, weekday mornings from 8 to 10 a.m. right here on OnSideRadio.com.
With Make-A-Wish, the impossible becomes possible. A girl battling cancer can become a race car driver battling the course. The boy showing all the nurses his fire trucks can take the helm of a real one. Wishes can give kids with critical illnesses the strength to keep fighting, get better, and grow up.
Where there's a wish, there's a way.
Wishes need you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
Keeping you informed in the world of sports. With an OnSideRadio.com sports update.
Congrats to the Baylor Bears. They are the NCAA men's basketball national champions after an 86-70 win over Gonzaga. It is the school's first men's basketball national title. It's a busy night in South Florida sports. Miami Marlins lost Game 1 of the series against the Cardinals 4-1 last night, but they are back at it tonight at 6:40. Sandy Alcantara is on the mound for your Fish. The Florida Panthers look for their 7th win in a row tonight as they visit the Carolina Hurricanes. Puck drops at 7 p.m. The Miami Heat host the Memphis Grizzlies at the AAA tonight. Tip-off is at 8 p.m. Yesterday, the New York Jets and the Carolina Panthers made a trade sending QB Sam Darnold to the Panthers for a 6th-rounder in 2021 and a 2nd and 4th-round pick in 2022. Finally, sources are saying that the Coors Field in Denver will host this year's MLB All-Star Game. This is South Florida's home for local sports talk. This is OnSideRadio.com.
Now streaming online. OnSide Radio, the only choice for the South Florida sports fan.
All right, we're back. Yes, second to last segment before we do the crossover with Alex Dano, because that's how we do it here on this station. Crossover every show. I thought it was an interesting story. Alex, you're a seam head. So MLB suspends Nick Castellanos for 2 games after flexing an opposing pitcher's face. So Castellano is one of the best hitters in the league. So the ban is crazy now, mostly because the events that led up to it were all fairly benign when considering the unwritten rules of baseball, which, again, is just a bunch of crap. Castellanos had homered on opening day against the Cardinals and pimped the hit with a bat flip and a stroll to first base. I personally have no problem with that. Clearly, the Cards didn't love it, so pitcher Jake Wolford drilled Cincinnati outfielder in the ribs with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball in the ensuing game on Saturday. Castellanos hated it, talked a little smack when he came around the bases. To score a few pitches later, he let Woodford hear it at home plate with a flex and a yell. So the benches cleared and all this happened. Castellanos was ejected. Most thought that he would be. Now, here's my problem with all of this. Listen, I watch Lima Time, okay? You know what that is, youngin'? Do you know what Lima Time is?
Jose Lima?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, he was colorful on the mound, okay? I mean, he'd strike you out, and he'd do all the gyrations, and it was awesome. I think baseball needs all that color. I'm tired of baseball's unwritten rules. But here's where I also think, and this is the part that I'm interested to hear what you think, Alex, because you love baseball so much. Here's my problem with baseball. The guy flexed, the guy hits a home run, the guy gets beaned. He's the guy that gets suspended. But yet baseball is more worried about flexing and worried about showing off than they are about allowing players to bean other players. Because by hitting him with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, what about if it gets away from him and it hits him in the neck, in the ear, in the head, and he gets a concussion or something more serious? What if it breaks an orbital bone? So baseball is more concerned about the antics than they are about somebody getting hit by a baseball. And that's the thing that gets lost in all of this. That the most disgusting act is the cowardly act that because somebody hit a home run and they showed off a little bit, you go and hit him instead. Dude, strike him out. That's what you strike him out, and then you show him up. Like, you strike him out, and then you point to the bench and say, sit your ass down. Okay? That's what you do. Baseball would gain more from that than they do from these stupid, archaic rules that you're allowed to hit another player with a baseball. Do you know how dangerous that is? So, Alex, what do you think about that? Because I think what's lost in all of this is just allowing people to get beaned.
Yeah. My take on it is, the way to get back at him is to strike him out the next time.
Exactly.
And I do agree with you in the sense that this game does need some more flair, some more colors to the game. Like we see in the NBA or in the NFL, a player scores a touchdown.
Finally, the NFL started letting them celebrate.
But in the NBA,
you've been able to celebrate forever.
Yeah, you posterize a guy, you scream into the crowd, you flex. You saw Alonzo Mourning do that all the time in the 90s.
All the time.
So it's been seen a lot in the NBA. The MLB has always been the last man to get to the party.
Mutombo blocks your shot and then tells you, no.
What's wrong with the little bat flip? Like he's not even flipping the bat in your direction. It's like Mutombo was putting a finger in your face, for crying out loud.
Right.
So
the next time you dunk on Mutombo and then you say, yes.
Like, MJ
that's what you're
that.
supposed to do.
And baseball needs a little bit of that inner battle within like the batter and the hitter, but more of a competition sense, not trying to kick his ass literally.
But don't you think that the part about beating somebody is the part that gets lost in all of this? Because that's actually the dangerous act out of everything that went on.
Exactly.
Everything else was harmless.
That old school philosophy of like, getting back at that guy, that needs to get out of the game because it's not making anyone better. You don't improve as a pitcher by hitting the guy. You actually running away from your problems. You look like a coward. You know, it's like
exactly,
and that's the problem that pitchers need to come to realize that hey, hitters are getting better and they have more scouting reports on you. It's not like back then 10, 15, 20 years ago that there wasn't much stuff, especially if you were a new pitcher, for example. So now there's all eyes on you everywhere you go in terms of scouting reports. Scouts is looking at you and what type of pitches do you have. So it's harder to pitch in today's MLB, and you just got to get better just like the hitters are.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Joe Romano says this is the stuff that makes baseball unenjoyable. I'm with you, man. It's just so childish, so immature. It's just a bunch of crap. Quickly, I got to give a little love to Steph Curry. You know, Steph Curry is one of those guys that I believe is impossible to dislike. That's just me. You don't think the same thing, that's fine. Steph Curry, by the way, put on a pair of shoes, special sneakers that he had made with Bruce Lee on it. Okay? And it says Bruce Lee loves family. And so Curry teamed up with Bruce Lee's foundation to create a custom pair of Curry 8s with Lee's image hand-painted on each of them. Okay? One image is a solo shot of Lee. The other image is based off of a photograph of Bruce and his wife and the children. Steph wanted to show solidarity to the Asian community in light of the recent wave of anti-Asian hate crimes. So he proceeds from the upcoming auction will go towards the family of the 8 people killed in the recent attacks on Asian spas. Bruce Lee's daughter, by the way, was blown away. So it just, you know, good people, man. Good human beings. All right, let's take a break. Alex Dono will join us next.
We'll be right back to the Big O Show. You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
For over 20 years, Mr. Glass has been committed to the safety and satisfaction of our clients. Our products are the culmination of innovative engineering, aesthetic appeal, and the highest levels of quality. Through our legacy, Mr. Glass strives to impart the true meaning of quality, service, and sustainability to new generations. Reputation, experience, and trust is why clients choose Mr. Glass. Live the future now. Locate a dealer near you today.
If you missed Chirping the Cats radio with David Dwork, then you missed this.
Through the 2017-18 season, Barkov was 54% success rate in shootouts, 19 for 35. 19 shootout goals through the first 4 or 5 years of his career. Since then, Bupkis. I mean, he used to be the guy that came out with some of the most inventive, crazy moves. You remember that one where he slapped his stick on the ice with just leaving the puck alone for going backhand? I want to say it was on Marc-Andre Fleury. I mean, he's turned goalies inside out. He can use a move more than once. Clearly, somebody told him that about the backhand move. Seems to be the go-to. And I mean, I asked Barkov about it a couple of weeks ago, right before the season started. I asked him, dude, you've been struggling. What's the deal? You know, and he said, yeah, goalies maybe got in my head a little bit. I was thinking that they were reading me. I was trying to read them. Shook his confidence. He said it. Running out of moves is not really an excuse when you've got the skills that you can pull off basically whatever you want.
Chirping the Cats radio with David Dwork. Saturday mornings 10 to 11 at OnSideRadio.com.
Can I get a captain?
Captain and what?
Captain and Ginger.
I can't hear you.
Captain and Ginger. He was a Captain and Ginger. Captain and Ginger. He was a Captain and Ginger.
Captain Morgan, official partner of Major League Soccer.
Hey, it's Big O for EJD Construction, your custom home builder, additions and home remodeling. Our lives have changed. We're making our homes more of an oasis. Call the right place. Call the right people. Eric at EJD Construction for over 16 years. A-rated member of Angie's List in the Better Business Bureau. 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Dunkin' to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
Hey, it's Big O. You know, air quality in your home or business is so important now, folks. That's why you've got to call M&S Air Conditioning. Let them install a high-efficiency polarized air filter in your AC unit that attracts, captures, and destroys biological contaminants to improve your air quality. M&S is always on call from 7:30 a.m. till 9 o'clock p.m. and, of course, emergency Sundays. Call for more info on high-efficiency air filters and their preventative maintenance plans. Visit M&S Air Conditioning at ac-florida.com.
At Baptist Health, we are ready.
To serve. To treat.
To safely proceed with your procedure.
We're ready for ER visits and office visits with skilled surgeons,
advanced medicine,
and multidisciplinary teams. We're ready for new arrivals
and new recoveries.
We are ready.
We're ready to diagnose, treat, and manage
anything that comes our way
with exceptional care and comfort.
With the same preparedness and compassion you've come to expect from Baptist Health.
And we are ready.
We're ready.
We're ready
to care for you.
You're listening to OnSideRadio.com. Catch up anytime by downloading the MyTuner Radio app. OnSideRadio.com, South Florida's true hometown station.
All righty, welcome back. It is the final segment of the show. We got to thank Kurt Heelan from Pro Basketball Talk for joining us as always, and Ira Winderman with our Acura Pembroke Pines Miami Heat report. Alex Aguirre, as always, excellent work by you, sir. I got to tell you, Donald, I am not a Jeopardy guy. I watch it very, once in a blue moon. I'll stop for a couple minutes.
Same.
But I did watch because of Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, I saw a couple clips, but
I thought he did a really good job.
So he was good. That's what people were saying.
He did a good job, dude.
I saw a couple videos that were going around Twitter, but people were saying he did an excellent job for the whole episode.
You know what you can tell? That he's a true pro because he studied his playbook. Is what he did. He watched Trebek.
Oh, yeah.
He's been a fan of his. He admires him, all of that. He honors him. It's kind of like when you walk in to be a quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. You have to appreciate that organization, the rich history,
Absolutely.
the incredible fan
Bart
base.
Starr and Brett Favre.
Maybe the most known football stadium that we have in this country.
Yep.
Right? Lambeau has to be maybe the most precious. Well, it's the only one that's left.
Yeah.
All the other ones are gone, right?
You're right. I mean, some of them have the same name, like Soldier Field. But
well, Soldier was redone, yes.
Right. Well,
exactly.
but it's not really.
But it's still
not
not
really
Lambeau.
the same stadium. Yeah.
And it's still not Lambeau.
Yeah.
And it's still not Lambeau. Nothing's Lambeau. And so you have to go in there with that kind of. And he did the same thing with that. He took Jeopardy in the same fashion, and I commend him for that because he was a pro, man. He was a pro.
And he seems to have that knack for it. Like, I don't know. There's something to me. I've always wanted to be a game show host myself. I mean, I'd rather be a talk show host than a game show host, but that's always something I've really enjoyed. It is fun.
Yeah.
So he clearly has that same love that I have for game shows.
Yeah, it was good. I thought he did a really good job. What do you got going on today?
Oh, man, well, it's a busy day today. It's Tuesday, favorite day of the week. It's a terrible take Tuesday.
There we go.
There's some weeks where we're heavier on the bad food takes. It's heavier on the bad sports takes this week. We've got some doozies we have to air out there. So terrible take Tuesday today.
Oh, there's the guy on Twitter yesterday that thought that the Dolphins should trade up for Trey Lance.
Oh, my God.
You want that?
I do. Well, you got to show that to me. Where did that come from?
I was like, what the hell?
What do you mean, trade up from number 6?
Yes. Seriously.
I'm dying.
It was the whole thing about Atlanta getting calls. Oh, the Dolphins should call Atlanta and trade up for Trey Lance.
I'm dying. Oh, man. So I may have to throw that one in. We're going to talk some Canes and recruiting with Larry Bluestein in the 3 o'clock hour. In the 4 o'clock hour, we're going to talk with Antoine Staley because there's a lot. He covers Florida State
Carolina
now.
very well, too.
Exactly. Carolina with Sam Darnold, we have to talk about that. And we have to talk about Randy Shannon getting on the defensive staff at Florida State because he covers FSU as well.
Are you going to get a little horny today?
Oh, my God. That might be the greatest hire of all time. It's a gift.
But Nicole Auerbach, just like she doused it with, him being part of Art Briles for 9 years. Did you see that?
No,
you didn't catch that?
No, I didn't catch that.
Go to Nicole Auerbach's Twitter. He was the guy that was in charge of football operations for Art Briles for 9 years.
I did not know that.
And a very vocal supporter of Art Briles after he got fired.
Oh, my God. What?
So, because obviously he was part of everything that went on with Art Briles.
Yeah.
So now FIU goes and hires him. So
That
she goes, yeah,
ruins it.
you can have fun with his name, but know his history or something like that.
That's wow.
She's exceptional.
Talk about pouring cold water on.
Yeah, she just kind of did that because I tweeted out yesterday.
I thought that was
this is Paul Pierce's favorite coach.
I thought that was a funny story. Now I'm depressed. Like,
right.
what have you done?
like Butch, the wheels are coming off.
Yeah, that's bad. Oh, no.
So now you're just making it
man.
worse. That's what you're bringing onto your program?
Yeah, and it's Champions League games today, and we're going to talk at 5:20 with our guy Kai Chen Chisholm, Samurai Radio, because I need to give him a rebuttal because we had on Austin Robillard yesterday, who's a Premier League fanboy.
Right.
And Kai, and I kind of agree with Kai.
Bundesliga fanboy.
He's a Bundesliga fanboy. I'm not a Bundesliga fanboy, but I agree with Kai that the Premier League is overrated, and Premier League fanboys are snobs. So we're going to allow Kai to air that grievance today.
I love it. I'm an Inter Miami CF fanboy. That's it. I'm going to stay right there.
Yep.
All right, you all, thank you for tuning in, subscribing, rating, and reviewing. Stay tuned. Man of the Match will dominate next.
We'll be right back to the Man of the Match with Alex Dano. You can join us on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623. You're listening to the home of Inter Miami CF.
His strike is a decent one. It's fired into the top right corner. Gonzalo Higuain opens his account for Inter Miami.
OnSideRadio.com, where the passion for La Rosa Negra runs deep.
Let's raise a cup to the first among us who put themselves last. To the risk takers, the mask makers, the heroes on the front line and online. To the ones keeping shelves full and keeping us hopeful. To those who don't stop and those making all the stops. To the ones who pick up, suit up, and never let us down. From all of us at Duncan to all the heroes keeping everyone running, we thank you.
You're listening to this station with more live and local sports talk than anyone else in South Florida. OnSideRadio.com, broadcasting from South Florida to the world. Welcome back to the Man of the Match with Alex Dano.
It's all yours. Just keep it right here.
You can reach out anytime on the OnSide Sports Line, 888-441-4623. That's 888-441-4623.
Yes! So it is. It is. Man of the Match with Alex Dano.